Is this a ACT?
I don't know what this is.
I don't want to make it uncomfortable.
3, 2, 1.
I don't want to make it uncomfortable, but something's got to be done about Travis's chopping. Because it's
you are not the
it's reached a point where
I like that we're having our
driving me
business
insane.
meetings on air now.
Yeah. Well, that's what real radio hosts do. I don't know if you remember this.
This is getting weird.
But when you transition to full radio host, you do everything live. You do it all. You leave it all on.
We have a lawyer at the door
you leave
with some paperwork.
You leave it all on the air. Oh, bring them in. Oh, my God. Who set
You're
this
being
up?
served.
This is weird. Who set this up?
You got served.
Very good.
See, why? Like, I'm just going about my morning.
Okay.
I don't want to, and I'm hesitant to talk about anything that personally that's happened to me. Like, we've talked about
like
this
in
before.
your past? Were you molested?
No. Daniel, he likes to chirp. And, like,
I've been cutting back, though, man.
But I like it.
You guys really hurt my feelings
it's
Monday.
It's your personality.
And,
chopping is Butler's personality.
And you know, part of getting your feelings hurt is sometimes you have to do some self-reflect. Right? You got self-reflection. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you got to look straight into the eye of the chirp and realize that, you know, like, we're all different, but, you know, like, you can't just... Chirping has to be gated. You can't just... You got to control it.
Yeah.
As much as I would like to live in a world where I can just chirp recklessly, with reckless abandonment, or chirp my head off, it can't be done.
I'm going to make a new mandate. And I never do this, but
mandate?
It's driving me insane.
I thought we had no rules here.
You've never drawn a line in the sand.
I do believe you have once said anything goes.
You've never drawn a line in the sand. You hate confrontation.
That's just with male strippers.
Okay.
You let things spiral and unravel out of control because of your fear of picking up the ball of yarn. You hate it. You hate the confrontation.
I do.
I'm extremely... I am very optimistic for the future of this company. If this man has decided to draw a line in the sand on chopping, then I say this is going to be our year.
Do you realize how it's so hard for me to even be honest? That
Am
I'm
I
so
doing a
fucked
decent
up.
job at supporting you right now?
Yeah, but
I think we're not doing ACT.
No, he's real. This is real.
This is going to be a BDM show.
Okay.
This is going to be for BDM.
All right, we got 10 minutes before we have an interview.
It's on Twitch right now. But
are we on Twitch?
Yeah,
we'll bring Mike B in this, and we'll have his opinion too. That's fine.
Well, then I need he's my weird job.
No, that's fine.
You're messing up my schedule.
I'm pretty sure Mike B can give us an extra 15 of his time. I hope he can. I hope he's like, fuck off. I am busy man.
I am busy man.
I'm going to have to do that Black Sabbath cover, right?
That's good. Yeah.
So I have reached my limit on what Butler's doing with it's not even, this is a different form of chopping. This is, I'm going to tell you that you're wrong and that I know more than you, even though I know 1,000,000% that you don't know.
Okay.
And you've proven to me you don't know so many times that it's insulting to me. Now this is flicking my dickhead at this point.
Hold on a second.
You are straight up flicking.
You're flicking the dickhead.
Your boss's dickhead.
Okay. All right.
And I didn't even want to tell you anything. I didn't want to tell you. This is how I have to talk to Butler. I scream forward. He's listening right behind me.
And then he laughs in your face.
This is so weird.
This is weird. This is the weirdest form of communication.
I have the weirdest job. I should do Weird Job Wednesday. I wouldn't even know how to explain it.
I could interview you for it. I mean, and we could kind of compartmentalize
Instead of my
this.
boss having a meeting with an employee with something that bothers him, he goes on mic and screams, "You're flicking my dickhead." I don't know what's happening.
You're flicking your boss's dickhead.
All right, Butler, get
This can't be reality.
Oh, you're bringing him in now.
Yeah,
so now it's true confrontation. All right.
Now I'm awkward. I got to get out of here.
I'm awkward too. God, I'm going to be a bailiff. Double bailiff scenario. I'll be the bailiff in your backpack. We'll be double bailiffs. You can just carry me around like Baby Yoda.
So, I'm not in the best mood this morning, but I realized
Why are you in a
period?
bad? Why are you in a bad? Oh my God! Now you're giving it to him. Why are you in a bad mood?
I'm in a bad mood because
shouldn't
I got the start of a fucking root canal yesterday when I left and went to the dentist.
Oh, is that what was going on?
And it hurts like a motherfucker.
Oh man!
Then we had the landlord come in banging on the door.
That's called a
That's
castle.
fine.
The root canal. That's called a Castleberry Tuesday.
Then we're complaining about things that aren't getting done.
That's why I don't want to tell anybody like that.
Everybody, Castleberry got the teeth falling out. Got the teeth falling out. Oh, we build our fences with teeth. Our very own teeth, they fall out.
There's a lady playing a ukulele. Did we get kicked off Twitch?
What is this
That's
lady?
beautiful.
She's beautiful. She's on Twitch. You can watch her. Her name's Rena.
So
shout out to Rena on
that's
Twitch.
part of the reason I just wanted to keep it to myself because
I don't blame you.
This is why Tom doesn't chirp.
anytime you have dental work, there's a little, it's like, what happened? Why did that happen to you?
Yeah, it's a judgy thing. Yeah, it's like, what are you doing? What, you got stinky teeth? Let me smell your teeth.
Yeah.
It's all that spinach that gets stuck in there.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had Butler's mic on. I thought you wanted it that way.
I've been trying to, be rich all my life, and it's
Butler,
not going as
you
well.
do. If I'm trying to bridge the gap between the two of you and try to broker some peace here.
Yeah.
Butler does like to.
He's what some may call a know-it-all.
Well, he'll weigh in with.
He
his,
knows nothing.
Well, but most people that are know-it-alls don't know everything they're saying, right?
He does swing his opinion around.
It's not even
Like fact.
Like fact. It's quick. I think if you gave pause to your opinion, then this wouldn't happen because everybody has opinions. I mean, I got opinions, stuff like that. But if you could just give it a beat.
Yeah, but why are you even throwing out definites on shit you don't know? Like, especially,
Well, you do that all the time, too. You're not that far from Butler.
You guys are the same, but you're just different mouthpiece, I feel like.
Now,
if we switch your mouthpiece on Butler, it's the same thing.
Mine's
You
coming
hate what you are.
from an inquisitive.
Yeah, you're inquisitive, like a lemur who found a Rubik's Cube.
That's based on a bunch of calculations I've done, where I've looked at the logic and I'm really
You've
trying
done the
to.
math. That's everybody makes fun of that. You've done the math.
Butler's done no math.
You do the math. He yells the math.
But you've literally admitted that the math means you've done nothing.
Yeah, but I've done some critical thinking.
Okay,
which
I like that.
My critical thinking is 100%
You've done
better
a
than
bit
Butler's.
of preliminary.
I'll bet my life on it.
A bit of preliminary research.
Because the reason I'm
Don't bet
saying
your teeth
this,
on it, though.
no, this motherfucker, I'm gonna fire this
happen today.
motherfucker.
It's gonna happen today. It's up to you. And
No,
I.
don't
getting
quit.
close.
I don't want nothing to do
Now
with
look,
nothing.
It's getting close.
You and I have to
Look,
decide.
I got a headache. I was just coming in here trying to breeze through the day.
Yeah. She got a headache. And I have a lot of marijuana in my pocket that I want to smoke.
Damn it.
You go ahead and smoke it.
Yeah. So here's the
I'll
deal.
smoke 'em if you got 'em, he says.
You and I need to decide whether or not we want to ease off the gas or whether we want to. Because if I know how to hammer the gas, I can hammer the gas right now and I can make Tom fire Butler in 5 seconds. If you want this to happen. I feel like this is it's like the end of the Marvel universe, like when all the people are there, and the snap. We can do the snap.
I don't want to fire Butler, but he's gonna force me to do it.
Yeah.
Look what you made me do.
Okay.
Is that what you're going to scream?
So this is a legitimate concern you have. It ruins your mornings.
It'll be a simple task, impossible for Butler, which is a whole different.
It's the reverse of the impossible task. It's the totally possible task.
Impossible for Butler. So I in a bad mood.
I didn't notice you were in a bad mood. Truly, I didn't.
Because I try to not.
Tries to hide his feelings.
And I apologize.
Yeah.
I laid something kind of heavy on you this morning when you and I were texting, and I had something I'm dealing with. So I laid it to him, and he was like, he gave me what I needed. He gave me oh man, that's rough. That's all I needed, by the way. That's all I needed.
That stuff passes through me like a ghost. It doesn't land like it.
Okay.
The stuff like that
It
weighs on
weighs
you.
on me, yeah.
People tell me horrible stuff, just like Patrick Swayze.
Yeah, right through.
Right through the subway.
I love you too, ditto. But I did not know that you came in, you gave me the yo. It's like a normal thing.
Because, I don't want to, because you start bringing negative energy into work and it affects everything. It affects all of us. It affects the show. You know what I'm saying? So
the energy is king.
So I'm just like, my fucking tooth hurts.
Which one is it?
It's my back tooth or whatever.
Those are the worst.
And then, it hurt all last night. I slept like shit because, even though I asked the dentist, I was like, I remember I had one other root canal in my life like a decade ago, and it hurt like a motherfucker. But that was back when they used to give you pain pills.
Shit, I gotta get one too, man.
Because back in 2009, it was pain pill crazy. They'd give you pain pills for a sprained ankle, anything, whatever. Anyway, so but it's 2021, and they do not give you pain pills anymore.
Well, hold on a second. I got to get one of these done in the next couple of weeks. So you and I are going to be in the same boat. Which listener has some that they can loan me?
So anyway,
well, not loan me. I'm not giving them back. I'm not going to hunt for more to get. I'm not going to return those.
Borrow those off you?
I go to this fucking bobo ass dentist that.
Well, that's why Butler was giving his opinion. That's what he claims is that because you. Kind of prefaced it by saying you go to a less than substantial dentist. I feel that was just enough of a door crack opening for him to stick his foot in.
Just want to clarify that I went to the bathroom and came out, and you guys were having some type of
it was fast.
Argument? I don't know what it was.
It happened fast.
And then Tom started screaming, "Put on the mics, put on the mics."
Put
I'm
them
like,
on!
what's happening?
Put them on!
I had no idea what's happening.
I get so mad when Butler tells me some shit because
I see you.
It's a slap in my face,
So
and it's calling me a fucking idiot.
How did the conversation even start?
So Butler's like, "Hey, not to be chopping into your personal business, but how was your
Wait, he
dentist
did
yesterday?"
say that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so
No.
he knew that he was chopping.
But you had, I feel
You
like
had an
right
out.
there, you should go, don't chop. Not in the mood for chopping.
Could have done that.
Chop on out of here, motherfucker.
Too awkward for me. And
Yeah, that's not you, is it?
Because I don't care.
Because I'll do that.
But he did give you the out, so then when you tell him a little piece of information, you know he's going to chop.
Yeah, but
he can't
you're
help
not-
it. He's
you're-
admittedly said he can't help it.
You're never going to take the out. So, like, I'll give you for instance. When Andrea asked me, like, hey, can I talk to you about something serious? I'll be like, I'm in a bad mood right now.
Can we wait?
Yeah. Can you give it a beat until
Yeah.
Is that something?
No, it's not even about that. And
Okay.
because you could ask me anything at any time, I'll tell you the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care that someone asked me anything, whatever, it doesn't inconvenience me, whatever. I just wasn't going to be upfront with the information because I figured, whatever, who cares? I always think, who cares? I went to the dentist, got a root canal yesterday. No one cares. Really, it's one of those things that, and like I said, kind of like your dental work is like, what have you done?
I mean, I'll trade you. I'll trade you.
Yeah.
I went to Advent Health this morning, got my blood drawn to see how fat my prostate is. They'd want to do a blood test.
Yeah.
It's normal shit, but I'm not going to tell you about it. I'm not going to be forthcoming with that because there's really nothing entertaining about it.
It's like passing away from an OD, where it's like when people find out that information, it's kind of like, it's almost like they blame the victim a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like
hey, you dance with the devil.
Yeah. We're like, you got to root it out. Like, how much candy have you been eating?
Exactly.
Or whatever the fuck. This is my fault. Right?
Okay.
He loves his Jolly Ranchers.
And
people like that. Oh, by the way, here's a fun fact. Did you know the character of Odie the dog from Garfield was actually named after overdose?
Are you serious?
Somebody close to Dave who
What?
actually did that cartoon named the dog after that, so it would always be top of mind. I made that up.
So
Damn it, I was Googling it.
So Butler's like, I don't mean to chop into your personal business, which, okay. Anyway,
I felt it. I saw it, and I
He
felt
stopped
it.
himself.
Yeah, that was authentic, man. That was on camera.
He just, but Butler's inquisitive. He's like, hey, what's wrong with, what's that black thing on your foot or whatever it is? Like,
He
he
is
just
that,
asks you things that are like, don't ask about that. Anyway, I
Your
don't care.
eyeball's got a vein in it. Ew.
And I'm like, and then I started complaining about my dentist because I complained to my wife last night about my dentist. It's like, this dude, he seems like he's always in a panic, and he's got
That's not good for a dentist.
he's got too many like people there, so he's running around, and he's like, and then
You weren't at the dentist. You were at the Aloma Habanero.
And then one time, it seemed like he was like trying to push some work onto me that I didn't need. Like, it was a long time ago.
I hate when that happens, yeah.
But he fixed.
Your air filter needs change.
But I rarely go to the dentist for I go to another place for cleanings, like a gum.
Oh my god! You go to the gum man? I go to the gum man.
Yeah. And he does clean. So I only go to this guy if I ever have a problem, which is not very much. Anyway, But he
this
takes
is
my
a
insurance.
specialty doctor.
Yeah, man, but this is the guy, the Eastern Bloc guy. I've talked about him before. He murdered my
I thought
gums
you
the
said
last
you were
time.
gonna go to this guy.
Well, because it involved me, like, crystals, like, use my guy, but it's outside of our insurance, so I
Yeah,
don't have to
then you pay a
more.
little more, yeah.
But I'm like, fuck it. I don't care about myself enough. Let him murder my gums.
yeah,
He'll
but you
get it
hate
done.
this guy.
like, his bedside manner is horrible.
Yeah, but the last time you did this, you did the same thing. You just didn't yell and fire Butler.
It would have been fine. I would have sat here and realized I made a horrible decision, which I did all night last night, and complained to my wife. Why did I see this motherfucker? He murdered my goddamn gums again, and I said I'll never go again, and I just did it. It's my own fault. I'll take it. It's my fault.
So what I'm hearing is that you're mad at yourself.
No, I'm mad at Butler.
You're about to get it, man. Sam, what did I tell you about staying quiet with me?
I was trying to help.
No, it's
I am mad at myself.
Just
Okay.
stay
But
low.
that makes me more
Sam,
mad
get
at
down.
Butler.
Get down. Let them look. These
I'm
motherfuckers
already mad.
These motherfuckers gonna fight today, and then Butler's gonna get fired, and then tomorrow
I'm gonna do a hurricane drill.
Hey, we walk in tomorrow. We just cut up his money. That's what I'm gonna do.
You should have taken all those donuts home.
They call that the Jeff album.
Oh, that's why I didn't grab a donut yesterday.
Yeah.
No, I hate that
old
story because that
Snickers.
didn't happen. 'Cause
Yeah,
the company
nobody-
reabsorbed Jeff Howe's money, and I didn't get shit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Anyway, so I start complaining about my dentist because I had it in my mind that I wanted to complain about it, which may have prompted Butler to make his comment. But then
No, he likes to talk. He was talking to me about the TikTok videos that we're going to put out, and you do something sort of like my daughter did. Like my daughter is a chirper, natural chirper. I mean, she's got it. She's LeBron. I mean, the chalk, the whole nine, because she talks about everything she does. It's like, I'm picking up my glasses. I got my glasses. I'm going to put my glasses on here, and I've got my iPad. And I'm going to watch YouTube, my YouTube Kids, and I'm going to press YouTube Kids. YouTube Kids is on, and now what do I want to watch today? I think I'm going to watch ballerinas today. Like, she never stops talking.
Yep.
It's living with a Butler. So I can relate, man.
And going back to this dentist, I went in there. I had my tooth has been bothering me like a little bit for months now, whatever, and I've just been ignoring it because I can ignore everything. So, and then I went in there, before, and he x-rayed, he's like, I don't see anything. He's like, you maybe have an impact. Like, sometimes if you bruise a
Impact Wrestling.
tooth. He's like, if you bruise a tooth,
How do you
sometimes.
bruise a tooth?
Yeah, apparently it's possible because, like, you bite down on something hard, and then you can damage temporarily your tooth, so it hurts for a while, but it'll heal. That's what they told me. That was like 6 months ago. Anyway, so months, it's been dull, hurting pain. I can't bite down like salt or anything hard on my.
Oh, man.
I don't even want to tell anybody this because it doesn't
how
matter.
are you eating your beef jerky?
Anyway, so I sit there. They X-ray it again. They're like, I don't see anything. And the Eastern Bloc dentist, he comes in and he's like,
I'm so mad at Pussy Riots for saying things against government. So bad ladies.
And he talks like that. And then he said,
Why are you so mad at man called Butler? Why you want to fire him? What's wrong?
He's like, I'll bet it's where that filling. There's a crack underneath, and it's
Hey, that's what I have.
He's like, it's touching the nerve.
Yes,
Yes, it's an old filling.
Dude, that's exactly what I have on the right side.
And he's like, we gotta pull that nerve out. Blah blah blah.
We're filling, buddy. I pulled my nerve out last night. My wife sucked it.
And then he's like, that'll fix it. And so I was like, a root canal? I'm like, God damn. Like, I just, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing, you can't see anything. Like, what if it, I'm
little
saying
radical.
all this in my mind. I'm
No,
like,
that's what I gotta get too.
I'm like, how do you know? Like, it seems like a radical move for something you're just a theory.
Well, they
you
got to
know?
pull all the old filling out.
So-
because that crack is going to continue to, it's moving. That's what they explained to me about mine. The crack continues to move, so you always have pain.
But because it's coming from this guy who said
I
some
see what you're saying.
questionable things, I was like, I don't know. And
Right.
he's like, my friend, we'll get us started.
Oh, he does that? He does oh, okay. I definitely see what you mean now.
And then he's like, we'll get us
when
started.
you say that to me, by the way, I think you're lying. It's like when people go, can I be serious? Can I be serious? I'm like, you're not going to be serious right now.
Yeah. And then, so he's like, we'll get us started right now. And I'm like, well, how much does it cost or whatever? And then, like, we're like,
You'll know No way.
The receptionist will tell you.
Take care of it later.
So then he comes in. He's like, my friend. He's like, can I numb you up now because it'll take a while.
I really panicked.
And then I'm like, I don't even know what this thing costs or I don't know nothing. And then he's like, don't worry. And he's like, I'll just numb you up.
You got the fast pass. You're supposed to reschedule it and come back. They'll just throw you in the simulator.
But I was thinking
that shit.
I was like, I don't want to take off the afternoon again and all shit. So he fucking numbs me up, and then the receptionist comes in. They're like
signing paperwork while you're doped up.
And then it's like no, not doped up. It's just numb, like And then so I'm looking at it, and it's like he says like a $650 or $700, right?
God damn.
So, but my insurance takes care of whatever. It would have been like $2,000 or whatever.
Yeah,
but he's like
okay.
the insurance takes care of. Anyway, so I was like, fuck it. I have feel pain. This is probably a bad decision, but I don't want to come. By the way, I got to go Tuesday at 7:30 in the morning for an hour and a half procedure, then go one time back again, 3 different times.
My God. Why you got the specialty root canal?
I don't. Daniel, I have fucking no idea.
I'm gonna stop asking questions.
I know. You're right.
So-
I say I'm chirping. You're supposed to slap me.
So did he drill
gotta
in? I'm like,
We're all about to get fired.
the fucking the lady.
I knew I should have called out today.
They're supposed to be, the nice dental hygienist is supposed to be
That rubs
nice.
their titties
She's
on
a
her face.
bitch.
She's a bitch.
In this
What?
video, she's like mean and like doesn't want to work there.
She don't rub her
Fucking
titties
bitch.
on you?
No, she's
My lady-
I got
old-
nice young girls.
I got 2 requirements
She's
when
young,
I get a
but she's a
hygienist.
bitch.
2 requirements. and I don't think it's too much to ask for. Number 1, you got to be a Gators fan because every hygienist I've ever had is a go
Seriously,
Gators.
yeah.
And number 2, you got to rub your titties on my face while you're cleaning them.
So fast forward. So that's what I dealt with yesterday.
Go Gator.
And then I got home, and then my house is about to get painted, so I have to move all the shit away from
with a root canal is fun. Yeah, it's fun doing anything with a root canal.
I'm trying to take all the hose off my house.
Every
Anyway.
step you make, like when mine hurts, every step I make, I can feel it in my tooth. Because it's just
Yeah.
aches. It's just fucking
Nerves,
terrible.
yeah.
I'm
No.
sorry, dude.
No, dude, it's whatever. No big deal. I'm not a complainer. It just
Does it make you feel better to fire Butler? You fire Butler. Is that gonna help? If that helps.
So, but here's I just figured it out, and it's gonna be fine from now on.
Oh, this is what crazy people say. It's gonna be fine.
He's got a gun.
now on. Oh, trust me, nothing will go wrong ever.
I didn't even-
Isn't that what crazy people say?
I didn't even explain why I'm at a Butler. So anyway,
Oh, okay.
I'm telling him I the dentist, whatever. I'm like, I got a root canal yesterday, or at least the beginning. I think he took the root out or some shit, stuffed something in my thing. So he started yesterday, and I'm like, I got a root canal yesterday. He's like, no way, you didn't get a root canal.
I was like,
he's like, you'd be on pain pills right now. It hurts too much. No way, you had a root canal. So when like,
It's not good to laugh at it while he's retelling it, man.
do not.
You know what?
So
when I'm
when-
scolding Maisie, sometimes I'll be like, "Hey,"
you know how
and
frustrating.
she'll start laughing in my face.
You know how frustrating it is for someone to, as your root canal hurts like a motherfucker, someone be like, "No way, you got a root canal." To have someone tell you,
You
in your
obviously
face,
said that wrong. You're a fucking idiot if you say that. I don't know what you had, but it certainly was
Wasn't
not
it?
a
Tell
root
your
canal.
boss in the
That's how
face that-
fucking dumb you are as my
Yeah.
boss. That's how least I respect you.
that he did it before with the goddamn plumbing. When Emerald Plumbing told me the problem, and I was like, "No way, that's a problem. I know more than a plumber because that's what you're saying."
Well, he's a dentist plumber.
You
know that.
when you say
knew that when you
things,
hired him.
definitely, and I know you have no idea what you're just making it up as you go. That's what's most frustrating is because I know you, Butler. You're making it up as you go, and you're speaking in definites, and you're basically saying I'm a fucking idiot.
Life's a dance.
Here's-
Learn as you
here's
go.
what we're
Don't
gonna
sing,
do.
don't sing. Stay low. Stay low.
And this is a simple fix. Simple fix.
Oh no!
And
Oh
this
man,
is-
this is
this
where the
is-
crazy people. This is what happens. Are we in the
This-
purge?
This next time that happens, and you tell anybody in this office
Anything.
or anything that you're like, no way, and you say you definite, I'm gonna say you bet your job on it, and then you'll have to make the decision at that point to recant what you said and be
my
like, I'm
God.
sorry I said something, I'm an idiot, or you say yes. And then we will research whether you're right or not.
Well, now it's more work for me.
I'll help.
5-second Google search will tell us the answer. And then if you were wrong, you're fired.
Fine.
And if you're right,
Deal.
then we will go on. And then that's how we'll operate from now on.
Okay.
I'll
All
say
right.
bet your job on it, and then
It's
we'll
the game
see.
show. You bet your job on it.
Yeah, and that. And that will, I imagine, maybe it won't. Maybe Butler will chop right
I
through
can still
that.
chirp, and I just won't bet my job on it, right?
Yeah. But
he'll
there we
continue.
go.
But if you don't,
I don't have to bet my job on it.
But I'm gonna say you bet your job on it, and
I
then
say no.
and you say no, but then you have to recant what you're saying, and you say I don't know what I'm saying.
Oh, no, I mean,
Oh, so it's a training.
No, because
it's a teaching
because
moment.
if you were really sure about that,
All
now
right,
here's
should
the
we
I'll
dig
put up
into,
money.
let's dig into this then.
I'll put up
I feel like I'm enabling your gambling.
$250 on the other side. So if you're right, $250
Okay,
to you.
let's dig into your side a little bit, if I may. Why did you feel like you were certain that he had not had a root canal? Because you do know that Tom doesn't make it a habit of lying to us. So on the
See, that's what's weird.
on the opposite side,
Well, I
if
think
he,
maybe I shouldn't get involved. But
I know I'm feeling
I think
weird.
maybe sometimes Tom doesn't always remember things exactly. Like maybe he thought the dentist said root canal, but it was something else. I'm just trying to figure out why Butler
I'll
would say
take that.
that.
I'll take that.
Right.
but that's not. I don't think Butler.
Why were you so definite
Because that's a
on it?
rational.
'Cause there's a lot of-
explanation.
but there's also
that's
a-
coming
Like,
from
are you sure? I would have been like, are you sure it was a root canal? I wouldn't have been like, no way you got a root canal.
Right.
It's the way you deliver it.
See, I always do this. I think I go one step further. If he came in and said I got a root canal, and I absolutely, let's say I know we didn't get one, I'd be like, really?
Yeah.
Like I do that. And then I just kind of don't care anymore. You know, I'm just like, really?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay,
Well,
listen,
I really don't care.
Like, I honestly could give no fucks. And then I love you. You know that. And I know that makes you uncomfortable saying that. But I give no fucks whether or not you understand what a root canal is. I don't care.
Yeah.
If the guy put his dick in your mouth and was face fucking you, and then you thought that was a root canal, long con, I'm okay with it. It's not me, right? I mean, if you
Samantha, but
Yeah.
that would be a reasonable response to be like, "Whoa, really, man? Usually root canals, like,
Right.
you know,
You'd
it-
get
You're on
more.
pain pills.
Yeah.
yeah. It's like, it
Butler
was-
ran
it
to
was-
the top of the hill, dug his flag in before he even saw that his flag was a Nazi flag. And he's like, oh, shit.
It
You
was
gotta
a
put it down.
definite, immediate, not even giving some
Didn't even give it a
questions,
beat.
some backups, maybe something like
Well, you got to do some digging. You got to get some research.
Did you
right?
sign the paperwork where you looked at the price or it said fucking root canal and you had to pay half of it right there? You know what I'm saying? Like, all these things a normal adult that, you give credit to being somewhat intelligent.
It's also a
like you
normal
should
thing to
me.
happen.
Like,
It's not
it's-
weird enough, okay? Follow me again. Like,
Okay.
not to pile on,
I don't-
but it's
it's
a
fine.
weird thing because, like, okay, if I
If
ran in
said, like,
here...
if they took my wisdom teeth out, I'd be like, whoa.
Whoa, yeah, or
yeah.
like if Tom came in here and he's like, I met the ghost of Abraham Lincoln outside, I'd be like, you're no way. I'd be like, you're a
Right.
fucking idiot. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like root canal, I'm like, where he went to the dentist. That checks out.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't question it because I'm like, yes, he went to the dentist.
It's the definite, and it's the
Well,
definite.
it's the same day that that kind of got me. You said you're just going to a dentist appointment yesterday. That's what you said you left early for, right? And
Oh,
then-
now
and
he's
then-
digging
and
into
then-
you leaving
what-
early.
and then-
Oh, you should have heard
and
it when
then-
you left early. He's like, why is he always leaving early? I'm like, oh, God.
What? No way.
Don't get him killed.
I
you know?
have a power that is very hard. Like my X-Men power is churning the butter, and it's hard for me to not churn because I'm churn man. That's my X-Men power. It's real. It's,
I
have a
almost got
Colt-
up and started peeping on the desk.
I have a Quaker
Hey, that's your
outfit I
desk.
wear. I have a golden churn.
If you started peeing on his desk, I might have to look for another job.
Oh, I would
I'd
look
be
for
like, this
another
man
job.
is
What are you
absolutely
talking about?
I
insane.
wouldn't let you see my penis or anything. You know?
Yeah, that's
I
not the point. The point is you're an insane person.
But what would you do? What would you do if since I'm the
I
guy
feel
that follows
justified.
him to hell, he pulls it out, he starts peeing here, and then I lean in and I just let him piss in my mouth. I'm like, I got my mouth open because I'm like, I'll follow you to hell.
Then I'm gonna be like, someone send me that clip so I can take it to Mo and
World star.
exploit the hell.
So I'm sure, Butler, did your wife get mad at you for doing this?
For what?
I feel like you don't.
He
do
doesn't
that.
even
I feel
realize
like you don't
he
chop
doesn't even
your
know what
wife.
happened. You heard what he said? He goes, for what? Who are you?
I wasn't paying
listening
attention.
to you
What?
at all.
I
What's
don't
going
need
on?
an answer. You, who the fuck are you? You're not my boss.
For making things
What, for
up.
talking to my wife or communicating and
No,
talking?
just for making things up and saying definites, which 100% you have no idea what you're talking about. I'm sure it happens a lot. It's happened a lot here, and when I see when it's happening, and I see you making it up as
It
you go
happened with
along.
my tattoo, right?
Yeah.
There's a form of that, right?
The
With
what?
the putting on the numbing cream. We talked about it on the show.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what that's Butler trying to help And so that's different. This is him.
No, but remember, he's like, "Are you sure you're supposed to have that cellophane
Oh,
on?"
yeah.
You remember it was like
Yeah,
that, and
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
"Well, it's what my guy told me. He might as well have been my doctor."
Oh, yeah.
It's like, well, it's what my guy
He's
told
a
me.
professional king of tattoos.
Yeah, and I don't even care. I don't even care who you talk to. If you look this up on the internet, this is it's going to be fact. Tattoo care does vary, but you're supposed to always go with what your guy says. That is number one.
Yeah.
So if Derek, the guy that did this big chest tattoo, if he told me to literally come on my own chest and rub it in because he gets the best results that way, probably going to do that. As much as I think that's really weird, I would have done a lot of research about it. I'm just saying I usually go with what the doctor or the guy, the professional says.
You know what? It shows a lack of respect, right? I feel like this all comes down to this. And Butler laughs, but when you question someone else and you're saying that they don't know or haven't been are misinformed or don't care enough. Like, I understand you're helping, but when you tell Daniel, are you sure you're supposed to wrap cellophane around your tattoo? Daniel's got a lot of tattoos. Daniel follows instructions. Daniel does exactly what a doctor tells him to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm that guy.
You should know Daniel by now and know that he knows the instructions and he's following them. So by
pretty much that
questioning
guy.
that
Yeah, I'm that
is
guy.
questioning Daniel's somewhat intelligence by saying that.
No. See, now I totally disagree with this. I think he asked me for help when putting the cellophane on his chest. I'm gonna give him my help. I questioned it. That's all I did. I questioned. And so if questioning is not helping, then fine. You know what? I will back out. I will not help. I will not chirp. I will not chop. If it's gonna make you guys a little happier.
No, I mean,
This company's imploding.
Hey, don't lump me in here with your your shade. I'm just saying when you do it, it would have been helping me is one thing,
All right,
but
enough.
I didn't. Like when I go, if Tom goes, hey, can you help me put these boxes in my car? I'm like, yeah, I'll help you put the boxes in the car. I don't give him my variation of box loading.
Where are you going? Are you sure you want to take these there right now?
Yeah.
Why are you doing this?
It is an advanced move.
It's just you pick up the boxes.
Don't ask for my help then.
Take him in the car. No,
but it's not.
I think you
still
guys are not understanding that this is something that Butler cannot help. This is a part of who he is.
Which,
this
and
is
we
part
all
of
have
his
those.
spectrum.
Yeah, we all have those.
Yeah,
sure.
And I don't think he has any malicious intent.
I don't think he does either. No, I don't think so either. But,
No.
But when you hear it, though, I will say it. You're like, oh, come on, man. Like, I don't need to hear that right now. I'm putting this stuff on my chest. It's bad enough. I'm trying to wrap it with cellophane. Then I got this guy giving me a whole different. You sure you want to take that vaccine? Like, I don't need that when I'm getting the shot in my arm.
I know Butler has no malicious intent, and
None.
His intent is pure in the fact that he's trying to help. All I'm saying is that I need you to take a beat. Before you make any definite statements and just think to myself, well, this is going to be a Tom Van bet my job on type of scenario. So maybe I won't say what 100% because maybe because most people, and I do this all the time, I'll make definite statements.
I was just about to ask, are we allowed to do this to you?
Yes, I want everybody to do this with everybody. When someone makes a statement that sounds suspicious to you, form it into a bet. Because then that person,
I bet you Andrea's shopping my job right now on Monster.com.
Because then the person will start thinking, like, whoa, before I say this, how confident am I that this is correct? Right? Which a lot of people should do, right? Yeah. And then everybody should call each other out on in the form of a bet and be like, hey, and then put odds on it. But like, I'll give you 2-1 odds on that.
Are you forcing us into your
Yeah.
gambling
I don't
addiction?
think
He is.
I don't
And
gamble, so this isn't
It's a
funny.
good way
He's using
to
his
flesh out accurate information,
and he
right?
got me hood, line, and sinker. This might as well be Squid Game to me because the guy, what does he know? How am I ruled or how do I run? I run emotion. He shares emotion on the show, pulls me in. Now I'm gambling.
Oh, man.
He got me.
Oh, man.
He got me. He
Yeah.
knows that I'm ruled by him. I'm the emotional arm of Tom and Dan, right? I'm the sensitive cat.
And you don't have to know 100% facts to make bets. Like that's what
That's
betting
true.
is. You're betting on what you think based on the evidence.
Ooh,
the right answer is going to
question
be
from the chat.
Yeah.
Normally, Tom's all about intention, but not in Butler's case.
What? His intention? Well, this has nothing to do with what Butler, it's why he asked that question. He's just a chopper. He questions everything. I'm mad at the fact that he is saying things for certain when he knows for a fact that I know. I mean, he must know that I know more about my own dentistry than he does after
Well,
he has
opposite-
5 minutes of information, right? Like, the fact that he said, no way you got a
Well, what
root
did
canal.
you think it
canal.
was? If it wasn't a root canal, did you
Well,
think?
I don't think I was as definitive as no way. I wasn't. You're a little over dramatic. I was like no way. Like
so like known for that.
So I'm
He's known
thinking-
for that.
All right.
I've been telling him
So,
about that.
all right,
I said,
what's
you
the
need to-
difference in the no ways?
well, the no way is like it's almost like well, no way. Like you said, it's $600. I don't think a root canal would have cost $600. I know they're usually
he's doubling down. Die on
almost
the hill.
$1,000 more money.
How much do you know about what the cost of dentistry is?
Well, my mother used to run a dentist office.
Yeah.
How long ago?
She retired 2 years ago.
Ooh, toothicles. He had a bag
wanna
of
get her on the
toothicles.
phone?
Did you ask your mom about all the prices of dentistry?
Typically, I do. She was a chopper. She was a chirper. I learned a lot.
So your
is
mom
awesome and
was
bad at
a
the same
dental
time.
assistant,
No, dental manager.
a dental manager.
She ran the office.
And in what state?
Virginia,
Okay, and that's
Hampton
where.
Roads, Newport News.
And so, how much?
It's a dick out.
Give him the
This-
address.
It's a
How
straight up
much
dick out. This is the
is-
first ever Tom and Dan dick out.
Samantha, look up what's the average cost of a root canal. And
We
then-
never got this far with leaves. Too creepy. You know what I mean? Like it never. We
Well,
never
because it
had.
got too
this-
awkward.
Yeah, this is getting. This is awkward, but it's.
It depends on the
Oh,
tooth.
no, don't. Well,
it depends
don't-
on the tooth. Was
Okay.
it a front?
A
bite-
molar.
Okay.
Some people are saying you should have laughed it off and moved on like you normally do, but you couldn't today because you're in a bad mood. The root canal gave your authentic emotions were on the surface and they bubbled over. I love it.
It also started with the plumbing as
Yes,
well.
and our landlord came over here and he put his dirty feet all over my desk.
That's
That's
true.
right.
I mean that with
What?
I mean that with love too, by the way, because it's
Yeah,
just
gross ass feet.
because
it's fine.
I'm telling the landlord what Emerald Plumbing told me, and I know Emerald Plumbing because they've done a lot of
well, they're
plumbing in my
plumbers
house,
too,
and
that's
they're
why I
plumbers.
trust them. They're plumbers.
And they do that for a living, and then Butler runs in and starts giving his opinion on what he thinks it is, and that's what drives me crazy because
Okay.
I'm like,
So was that the
Do you-
fuse lighting?
Well, because-
and
yeah.
then it burned down by the time. Oh no, the fuse lighting was the root canal.
Yeah.
By the time we got to our landlord here, that was enough for you.
because it's like,
Yeah.
do you think you know more than the professional
Everyone.
plumbers?
Than
Like
everyone.
you do know
Yeah, then the
Well, I know
dentist-
they're not always right.
Then the dentist and the plumber.
Yeah. So Butler, his opinion should hold more weight than the plumber, in Butler's mind,
No,
because of what reason?
Are you asking me a question?
Yeah.
Oh, why I think mine? Well, I mean, I just think I don't think they're accurate. I think their excuse was, hey,
So you think Emerald Plumbing is wrong?
I just think they need to do another check. Yes, I think they need to reinvestigate that.
Well, maybe
100%.
Based on what?
Why don't you go up there with them this time?
based on,
think?
I don't think the people above us are overflowing the bathtub every single time that we have a water drip, which happens every single day. So therefore, I think it's a leaky pipe.
Except for the fact that it didn't happen when they were gone for 4 months.
Exactly. So it's a flushing thing. So I think it's not just a bathtub. I think it must be some sort of drainage pipe that's coming from the upstairs that's dripping. I don't think it's the bathtub. They were saying it must be the bathtub. It's not just the bathtub.
Well, they knew.
CSI.
And do you see how frustrating this is?
I know.
Because what the fuck do you know about plumbing? Do you know more than Emerald Plumbing?
My house is leaking right now, and I'm dealing with a replumb.
So that makes you
gives me a
more
little bit more-
qualified
Not
than
more qualified.
I mean,
but
he's around more exposed pipes.
So
I'm saying Emerald Plumbing should probably take another look at it.
Sam's on monster.com. I see her. I can see her on there. I see you on there. Update that resume.
what do you think the average cost of a root canal is?
of a molar, right?
And a molar, Butler.
I would say no less than probably anywhere between $900 to $1,600.
Okay, what's the
Pretty close. 1,000 to 1,400.
And when I told you mine was $600, did you ask about insurance?
No, because I've heard you mention that you don't have great insurance, and so I assumed that you probably just paid this out of pocket. So
But
I
you
assumed.
assumed,
I
yeah.
assumed. All right, so there's my first error. I assumed. Correct.
Yeah. So when you make assumptions that are not based on the total number of
That's the
facts
you and me
and the
thing, right? The asshole.
and you're definitive about those immediately, all I'm saying is take some beats and hear out some more information before
I didn't know you were going to get so offensive and so upset about this.
you stop
Offended, not offensive.
before you stop me mid-sentence and tell me that I'm wrong about what I just told you. Because that's what's irritating is I just want you to take some beats and before you jump in and give your opinion on what you definitely think it is.
Do you want Mike B to weigh in on this? He's in the chat
Yeah,
room,
sorry,
and he
yeah.
says this is intense. Should he call in?
Well, do you understand why it's frustrating?
I
right?
do.
Okay. So
but I don't think Butler does because he's mad and he'll shut down the rest of the day. I guarantee you. I know how this thing runs. Like I know how this
That's
operates
why I
because
don't
I've been
wanna
doing
talk
this for
about it.
so
This is
long.
Odd for me. I don't know what's
No,
happening.
it should
I
be fine
have
for you.
to
You're just gonna
men-
stay out of it. I'm out of it too. It's just we're gonna float. You're gonna float.
I have to mention it so that things get
Better.
instead because it's frustrating to me.
Smile on your face.
It's no big deal. I'm fine. I'm mad at Butler.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
It's no big deal.
That's fine. I'm fine. Yeah, no, I think it was good. You shared some emotion. Now you guys are good, right? You're good.
Yeah,
Not
we're
good. Good.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Okay, and you're good. Are you going to
Whatever.
shut down all day?
It is what it is, man.
Okay, I don't know what that means. But okay,
Don't
I
get
think that
mad.
sounds like shut down. Okay,
Listen.
that's whatever it takes.
Hey, I'm just going to take a beat.
Oh, okay. See that you could have said that differently, but all right.
I like it. He's using his words against him.
I don't listen because I'm not emotional. All this stuff doesn't
Well, you
matter.
know I am, though.
I-
So.
Yeah,
I know,
that's
that's
why you
fine.
shut down. I got that in me. I know.
It's
I know
a very
what it feels like.
unconventional way to tell an employee you have an issue with them. You have to admit
But
that.
he's
Because
more
it's not-
comfortable on the air, maybe.
Yeah, but
It's
Butler's not.
It's not a real issue. It's a joke issue.
Is it, though?
Yes, it is because this has nothing to do
Feels
with.
pretty real right now.
No, Butler, come on. I'm not.
Oh, now this is when he pull you in
totally-
the wallow on it. Yeah, I know. I do that technique too. I do that one too.
But I'm bringing it up as a joke.
Mm.
But I do want you to take a beat before you throw
Here-
some definites.
Here's what
at
I would
me.
say about both sides of this. If you're gonna shut down for the day, which I don't think you will, and if you did get your feelings hurt seriously, then you need to mention it. And I only say that once. Then you need to talk. Then I actually do need to talk. But the flip side to that, I would say, is that anybody that works here, I feel like should know how we operate and know that our definite intent is to always be truthful and try our hardest to not hurt people's feelings. And that goes on both sides. So if you are going to be here, you got to be, I guess, tough enough to not shut down. Because we've had other people that will shut down, and that doesn't do anything. That just ruins everything.
And I started this off as a joke, which it's funny.
The best jokes are the ones that are rooted in truth, and this one is rooted in truth.
But I know you can't help yourself when you're doing it, and you're not even doing it on purpose or maliciously. I'm just bringing it up because it's so goddamn annoying.
Yeah. Look, I know that. Look, let's use another real world example. If I can, put a little distance in this and poof it up so it's not quite as harsh for everybody. When I chirp in there, and when Butler and I went to breakfast, when we walked over to Publix yesterday to get food, and you guys were talking about it, the reason you wrote that down, it's rooted in truth. It is annoying when you're on your computer or Sam's trying to edit something, when I just burst out talking about some bullshit that I did because I like to talk. Like that's kind of like my morning process of waking up or getting moving. Everybody's going to have a different process. That process, I have learned, does not mix very well with you trying to get organized, with her trying to get organized. But it is funny to call me out on it because of some shit I actually do and I can't control it. You see what I'm saying?
No, I know.
So it's not a bad thing. It's just we're all different and it is a thing. But yes, I do chirp. And I apologize for lighting you guys up in the morning. I love when I see you, I get happy to see you. I fucking start running my mouth.
We know how many mistakes look at me and how many mistakes I make.
Now this is the part of the show where we turn it back on us to make Butler feel better because he got his feelings hurt. But that's just being a good human. That's the way it works.
Listen,
that's the process of talking for a living. That's how it works.
Yeah. And that's all I'm trying to do is talk it out. Okay, everybody's character here is great. And I want to...
Who's the best character, though? Come on.
Well, everybody has... And I say character...
No, tell us, Tom.
But Mr. Snarts, everyone knows.
It's
Mr.
not even a
Snarts.
character. It's everybody's personality.
Put us in order of who you like the most, and then put us in order...
Rank us.
Then rank us on who you want to fuck, and then rank us ugliest to hottest.
And if we all were perfect...
Fuck, marry, kill.
And we were, doing all the right things, the show would be boring as fuck. That's what I'm saying. If we didn't have
this has been the most interesting show I've ever heard. Up to this point, I was bored fucking shitless.
If we didn't have this
I
stuff
was
to
just
talk
trying to
about,
do a Weird Job Wednesday with Mike B.
I know. Has he still got a job? I think we held him over
Oh,
for
man.
so long he got
He's
fired.
at work now.
Yeah, he's in the alleyway. He got fired by my buddy Fabazi.
And by the way, Butler, this is part of your value.
It's part of the job, yeah.
Because
that's the unfortunate part, is the uncomfortability is part of the job.
Your personality is unique. That whatever whatever chopperness that you got and who you are makes the show more interesting. And so when we
don't have
say
other
this
people
shit,
to try and kick pee jugs.
I almost hope that you don't stop doing this, so I can yell at you and then yell about it
He
again.
won't be here, though. It'll be that moment where you turn to yell at him and he's gone and you cry a little bit. One tear.
no.
One tear. You're like,
never
God damn it with you! How do I say goodbye? That's how it would be.
It's fine.
Okay. Should we go do Mike B?
Yeah.
All right. We'll be right back.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha's here. Butler's here. The fish are here. Thank you to Top Shelf Aquatics. And let me start off the show by doing something I normally don't do and plug Orlando's strongest stream. That's us. Just go to Twitch, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live. That works on YouTube as well. Just search Tom and Dan Live, and you can see our Monday through Friday live broadcast. You can even join us live 10:30 through right around 3 p.m. We usually stop or wind down. But you can tune in, chat, hang out, catch everything live, catch the awkwardness, the weirdness, catch the stuff during the breaks, or catch the special BDM shows that Tom just decides to do out of nowhere, where he just starts decimating people's brains.
No, come on.
It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. You ready to do this?
Well, Sofa and Suds, November 14th. Races start at 2.
Racists.
Races.
Oh.
There's food trucks out there. We're going to have new merch. Angel is going to be up on stage DJing with us the entire time. So we got a pro DJ this year.
How do we get a pro DJ? I love it.
We just had to text him and
okay. Very good. Yeah. He hit me up yesterday. It's funny. He's like, I'm really excited to see you guys. So that's very cool. It'll be fun to see Angel.
Yeah. And so get there around 2. It's completely free. And of course, drinks, and you could bring pets.
You can. It's like a family event. Like most people go and they sit. It's got a parade, small town parade vibe to it.
Yeah.
Get your golf cart, go out there, sit on the edge of the street and watch the races. It's really fun.
You could be away from people if you want.
No coolers. They don't want coolers and outside food and drink in there because they have tons of vendors, tons of reasonably priced beverages and food for everybody, the whole family.
Yep. All right, let's do it.
What? Oh, wait, hold on. I know what I did. Hold on, this is bad.
I heard it coming out of somewhere.
Yeah, it's coming out of
your root canal.
Yeah, it's coming out of your root canal.
Don't talk about it.
I put it in there.
Now we can't have jokes.
Okay, here we go.
I don't even need one.
Tom wanted to do a bit. He called it Weird Job Wednesday. Dan really likes it. Tom says that's bullshit. It's another Weird Job Wednesday. What are you doing? What is your job? Are you neat? Are you tidy? Or are you a fat slob? Do you make lots of money and you sit up in your tower looking down on all the people who are working by the hour? It's a Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Oh yes, it's Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Thank you, Butler. Thank you.
Weird Job Wednesday brought to you by Streamline Florida. If you want a refi or get a mortgage, use Streamline. Brian Zimel and his team are great, and they will help you out. Let them know you're a BDM. We all did it. They're
amazing.
Really good to work
Talked
with.
to Brian a couple of days ago. He told me to
Whoa,
tell
that's
you
what
guys.
he told you?
No, that's how you do
Oh.
it. Yeah, he screamed right in the phone like that. He told me to thank you guys for supporting the show, and he had to end our phone call to go help another BDM.
Mike B's on the line. What's going on, Mike?
Hey guys, what's happening?
Not much. How you been?
I've been doing well. Been doing really, really well.
Yeah, you look good, man. You're how's the job going? Because you are our weird jobber.
But man, it's been going really well. Just cooking my ass off.
Nice.
Kicking hot, sweaty. It's
But it's good
rough.
work, man. The kitchen, dare I say, one of the hardest jobs you could ever have. But man, when I see guys do it right and they make it look good, and when you get that meal that's hand cooked,
Yeah,
by somebody that knows what the hell they're doing. There's nothing quite as rewarding. And I've been seeing some of your creations at night when you get done. Like some of the things you've been just cooking for you and the fam look pretty damn delicious.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Mike, I know we're not going to talk about this particular job, but when you're a cook, what's
Hard.
like? So, yeah, it seems like a hard-ass job and grueling as far as
easy to
the
screw
pace.
up too, man. Like depending on what station you're on, or
Like I've never looked back into a restaurant or kitchen area of any place and been like, well, that looks chill.
no,
It's always frantic.
High
and
stress, high anxiety.
I will
hot.
say
It's also hot.
Very
I get
hot.
sucked into the open kitchens, the old Ravenous location. You could sit at this little bar that was right in front of the kitchen, and I would go up there by myself and just get a couple drinks and just sit and watch them. Like I'd watch a girl cut like celery for 2 hours. But perfect celery, like everything, like perfectly meticulous.
Prep work is a
I
thing.
just brutal,
Sucks.
man, brutal.
Also, a lot of other jobs, and this isn't talked about that much, but even in like retail and other stuff, like there's always places to hide. It's for like at least a couple minutes.
Not in the kitchen there, ain't
Yeah, no, exactly. Like
you better get the hell out of the way in the kitchen.
when I was doing night stalking and stuff like that, there's constant breaks and just sitting down doing nothing for 10 minutes straight, or it's like, and then you worked hard, but there's a lot of breaks and hiding and whatever. And
I try to hide in here, but I can't. It's too small.
when you work in a kitchen, I mean, besides like you take out the trash, you smoke a couple cigarettes, but that you can't hide and do nothing when you work in a kitchen. Anyway, my point being, what's the best part about working in a kitchen?
Walk-up freezer.
So I mean, in some restaurants, it's like you get free food. Like the particular restaurant I work at right now, they're pretty cool with us. They just tell us at night, like, hey, if you want to make a burger or something, make a burger. Like, we don't want you to go hungry or anything. So
Yeah, but how many Big Macs could you eat?
well, I mean, I'm not eating Big
He's
Macs.
spicy today, man. I'm telling you.
He's coming for your
I'm
job,
just making
bro.
fun of him.
Yeah.
Why? Don't like jokes anymore.
Did
I
you
made a
get
joke. You
root
told me to
canal?
shut up.
I'm not sure if you've ever heard of his alter ego. Von Tan. Von Tan is here, everybody, and he's a mean man. Von
even think
Tan,
he
the
went-
mean
I
I
man.
don't even
That's
think he went and got one.
I think Theo Vaughn's going to sue him for that name.
I'm just making a joke. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mike.
But no, like one, I think you just really actually have to like cooking. And even though I've been in the industry, I think 18 years this year. And I've gone through waves where it's just like I don't like cooking. You grow really tired of it. And I think that's all where you're at mostly. And that's when you decide like you got to change kitchens. I mean, I've worked in 12 different kitchens over my cooking career, and I'm at a really good one right now. So it's
Yeah,
easy
you are.
to enjoy what you do. And like the management plays into that. Like if you have shitty management, you could have the best work environment ever, but if the management is shitty, then
We are on ACT, Mike B.
oh, sorry.
No,
My
you're
bad.
good. You're good.
But if the management is poor, it just ruins the whole experience. Like having good cowork, like there's all the little things that come into it that make a job really actually worth working. Because other than that, like the actual physical job description is hard because it's hot and it's gross. and,
Ghost
like,
of Manute Bull in our Twitch chat room. Pardon me, Mike B. He says, and I believe he was a larger man at this time. He said, when I worked at Taco Bell / TCBY Treats, I would go into the walk-in freezer and eat 32-ounce cups of full crumbled Oreos and gummy worms.
That sounds amazing.
Wow, man.
Not for your feet.
Well, yeah,
Dude.
that's bad
Again,
for the food addiction, right?
Yeah, if you know your kitchen, you know what's in the walk-in or whatever to snack on. Sometimes there's like fresh pork that they just made. Yeah.
Are there foods that
I
are
love fresh pork.
more fun to cook than others?
Yeah, like we have a triggerfish dish at my job right now that I just really like making.
Yeah.
Because the process of making it is enjoyable.
That's not a silly question, Tom. In fact, I'm insulted you laughed at that because there are certain things that I just really enjoy cooking, and there's certain things that I don't
have
enjoy
you not,
cooking.
Do you not cook?
You know what I don't like cooking? Shrimp. Doesn't take long enough.
well,
Too
I'm-
fast.
No, all I'm saying is like you've worked at 11 different restaurants.
Yeah,
like,
but now he's at a
they're-
place where it's like you're doing some scratch stuff. You're
Yeah.
you're having to really hands on it.
Yeah, you're doing a lot more than like putting
Yeah.
together ingredients like I know Tijuana Flats. although,
Right.
yeah, it's
No
like-
offense, but they have a map and they follow the map. What he's doing is like he got to come in and you got to start busting out all the salad dressing.
Yeah.
You gotta bust out all the sauces. Bust out all like you got a lot of prep.
So the more actual culinary practices involved, the better for any cook.
You're
right?
learning at this
Yeah.
particular job, right?
Yeah, I've done this kind of stuff before working in scratch kitchens, but they do it to just a really high level here. And it's been a lot of learning. Like Tijuana Flats was super easy, but it was also boring as shit. It was just super boring. So it wasn't enjoyable.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. This one you get to learn, maybe the cooking techniques are a little bit different, or maybe you're adding some ingredients that maybe are like, what I like cooking with? Really rare ingredients and stuff that's expensive, like real vanilla and, scraping Madagascar vanilla and crap like that.
But what about all the cool rock and roll graffiti inside? I mean, that has to add to it.
Yeah,
right?
like a lady with a ray gun telling me to rock out with my guac out. I'm like, hold on a second.
Or Warwick Dunn standing next to two sweeties.
Oh, my God.
At the Tampa Tijuana
Well,
Flats.
like a faded picture of George W. Bush.
Well, the worst thing about it is, as a cook, you don't even get to enjoy any of that because
right.
you're in the back.
Yeah.
Just so
They don't have any graffiti in the back?
No, it's all white walls.
Oh,
so it's
you need a
clean.
couple of ray guns and a rock out with a guac out
It's
back
graffiti in the front, business in the back.
there. You need that surfing girl. I see the surfing girl on there. She's got like the rash guard.
If the graffiti guy's already there, or girl, have them do some in the back. Why not? I
No
mean,
fun in the
how
back. That's all
much-
business.
you
man.
wanna-
You can't
more-
distract them from cooking.
Here's a Tijuana
Yeah.
Flats fun fact that I'm not sure you guys know. They have systematically fed more tacos to military snipers than any other restaurant.
All right, Mike. So that's not the job you wanted to talk about. So what is the job you wanted to talk about?
So although I've been a cook like most of my life, I've almost always had like a second job, which was anything from pushing timeshare condos. I've worked
That's
at a
the
bed
jolly.
store.
The bed
I mean,
store.
I've done a lot of other stuff, but I did spend one season working at a Halloween City.
Yes, Halloween
costumes,
City. Oh my God, were you the mayor of Halloween City?
It's like knockoff Spirit. So I mean,
Yeah.
you could have said it was, but it would. Dude, this job was amazing for a 23-year-old alcoholic burnout.
Yeah, you come in drunk.
So what?
Yes.
So it's seasonal job, obviously, and they hire just an army of young alcoholic burnouts. And what do you have to do? Like they just put a bunch of Chinese garbage
What's
in
the hiring process?
a burnout marshals.
The hiring process was my friend saying, "Hey, you're still unemployed, right? You want a job?
All right.
Cool. Come out to Merritt Island, and I got a job for you."
So what's the training process of Halloween City?
It's like, hey, do you know how to put things on a little rack? Bang, you just passed training.
So
Were you in charge of setting up the displays at all?
Yes.
Any creativity there, or do they
Um,
tell
so
you
I-
exactly how to set everything up?
Not enough webs.
So they basically, once we got like all the racks set up and all the inventory put out, they were like, okay, cool. Now let's just take this. There were like 2 or 3 big boxes of just like spider webbing and lights and all sorts of junk. And they're like, just put that around. They had like,
I like
one
that.
area.
That's specific too. Just put it around. I like that.
Just kind of spooky the store up a little bit. You know what you're doing. And so there was a lot of just like, hey, you know what? It was a very Tom Van like you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Just you could do it.
Just
Whoa.
whatever you do, don't question my root canal.
Don't.
I'm still on the fence about whether he went or not.
Oh, come on.
So Mike, what year is this?
This was, let's see, probably 2007, 2006.
Those are good years.
Good years.
Those are great years.
Yeah, my
'Cause-
husband 2000.
In general,
Love you, Travis.
like we've seen more and more Spirit Halloweens pop up, right? And it's kind of it's correlated to.
They're owned by Party City. Is that right?
I'm not sure. Are they?
No, I looked it up the other day, and it was like
It would make more sense that Halloween City's owned by Party City.
I feel like a lot of them are
Spencer's
kind
owns
of
it.
just like franchisee sort of deals. Like they make you kind of handle everything on your own.
I think I'd
You
be
just kind of
more
rent a name.
willing to go
Oh.
in there if they called it Spencer's Halloween store.
Well, yeah, you're right. They use the brand, right?
I maybe that's old though.
Maybe
I gotta always. You know what sucks is now when I say things, I have to go like, "Wait a minute, you're old," and I have to quantify
Yes,
things.
yeah. Because
Spencer's means something to me. I don't think Spencer's means anything to. If you're 15, 16, 17, 18, I don't think you know what Spencer's is.
you're right. You're right.
I think you're wrong.
Do you think?
Yeah, because
young kids don't know. Like
Lisa from Fort Airwalk podcast works there.
Oh, yeah, she
and
does.
There's
Sam C's
the
wife
youth
does.
is there.
Yeah,
The
she's
youth
been there
is
40 years, right? Sam C's wife's worked at Spencer's Gifts for like 35 years.
Yeah.
but now,
Dude, I think Spencer's is like a passed on thing where it's like you know where to get certain things, and when people ask you where to get those things, you're like, oh, Spencer's. And you indoctrinate the new generation
right.
with that same information.
You,
Well,
you
listen.
might be right. It's sourced because it's now part of our society. You're right. It's a novelty store, and it serves that purpose. It's the most famous novelty store.
my boys won't even know what a mall is, because like they'll never go.
It depends on what they're exposed to.
Yeah.
Maisie is exposed to a lot of Barbie cartoons where the mall is still in the storyline, and she reads a lot of these little books that have malls as the storyline. And Andrea took her to the mall last week, and she
I'm
fell
telling
in
ya,
love with it, dude.
it's
She
not-
fell in love with it. She's like, I love malls. And I'm like, well, I was wrong on that.
I went to the Oviedo Mall, which there's not a ton in.
Andrea went to
about
Florida.
a month or which is a ton of stuff's there.
Florida Mall
but
is-
Oviedo not a lot,
no.
and there were a bunch of teen mall
Yeah.
rats just walking around, window shopping, going in and out of stores. And I
Andrea
was like,
said
wow,
this-
that's still a thing.
The same thing. She went on the day that the Orange County was out of school and took Maisie up to Florida Mall. It was all kids.
Yeah.
If it's not dead, it's got stage 3 cancer. That's all I'm saying. Like you could. I mean, there may be still
Skinny.
kids going to the
Skinny
malls,
mall.
but that ain't gonna last for long.
So what did you let you? So you roll in. What time are you having to roll in at the old Halloween City?
I think the earliest I had to be there was like 8 o'clock. Because they'd open at like 9, 10 in the morning. So you'd spend that first hour checking, making sure everything was like stocked on the shelves, putting away whatever shipment you got in that morning, and then breaking down all the boxes. And then it was just kind of like deal with the business.
Yeah,
Once
just
we
talk
opened,
to people.
Yeah. So, I mean, I got hired on at the very beginning. So I did setup and then just regular employee stuff. So, I'd come in the morning, mix my little Pepsi and whiskey in my car.
Yeah.
And then-
you mixed it in your
Pepsi.
car.
You
I thought
didn't
only
even upgrade to Coke.
I thought only
Diet Pepsi?
teachers did that.
I'm a wild cherry Pepsi guy. That's my jam.
Oh.
You know what? I too enjoy a crisp because it's crisp. I enjoy a crisp wild cherry Pepsi,
When
and
you-
I like that it's wild. You can taste the wildness.
When you break open the wild cherry Pepsi and you take a couple swigs out of the top so you could fit the bourbon or whatever,
Oh,
you know what I'm
I
saying?
mix it in a Yeti, man.
Do you?
I gotta have some ice. I'm not an animal.
Classy.
When you take those first couple swigs that don't have the alcohol, so you can make room for
I did it
alcohol,
opposite. I
Do you-
one sip out of the whiskey, put a shot of the wild cherry in the whiskey bottle.
Do you think it's disgusting? Because you want the alcohol anyway. So let me ask you this: with the business, I guess, plan of these Spirit Halloweens and everything, because it makes sense that there's been a correlation with the amount of stores that have been shutting down and gone abandoned, and now they could have these, prime location store fronts for their seasonal business, right? Because that's what happens is like they put all these spirits in old stores that have been shut down because people are buying things on the
I'm
internet. or
surprised
whatever.
we don't get that for Christmas, but maybe it'll happen.
So, but there's what other like buying your costume inside a Spirit as opposed to online. It doesn't seem like there's very much more benefit buying it in the store because you can't. It's not like you could open the package or most
They
people
have changing rooms.
Yeah, you can
They
try it
can
on.
Try it on.
Yeah.
Why do you think
Oh.
I hang up by the changing rooms to see if people's tits fall out?
That was actually one of the
That's a-
shittiest jobs.
Oh,
at
sorry.
the-
We're hammering you, Sam.
This is not going on the air, so you can leave it. But
What?
Yeah, this is Wednesdays.
Oh, yeah, he's
Remember?
right.
Oh, Yeah, but you always make me edit it anyway.
Well,
I don't have to edit this?
It's because people listen to it, or they expect ACT to be not cursing.
Motherfucker, what?
Yeah.
All right.
So,
Oh, I get the-
All right,
I
I'm
get the
leaving it
rare
all in.
swearing
Do we have to
ACT?
put in explicit content?
I'll do it.
Okay.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
remind me.
well,
I'll do
that
it.
is-
Yeah, we
my
won't break
bad.
just not
Apple's rules.
curse.
But, yeah, okay.
But
But anyways, working at the changing room was actually one of the worst jobs because you also had to, you would work the
Put
changing
everything back.
room. Well, yeah, you had to rebag and put everything back out because everyone else was such a slouch. I would end up having to put back everything from my own changing room, which was kind of a pain in the butt.
Yeah,
But
man, that's a lot of work. And those bags, like, if you buy your costume and it's high quality, I would say if you go to a Fair Villa and you get something, I've got some costumes from Fair Villa that are in a damn box. You know, it's really nice. But if you go to like a lower tier place, you're going to get
It's hard to repackage.
It's so
Yeah.
hard to get that thing back in the bag. It's like a sleeping bag. I don't even know how to get a sleeping bag back or a tent back in its bag, like the old joke.
I swear to you, I did not know people took the costumes out of those plastic
Yeah.
bags and tried them on
kinda
before
gross.
they bought them.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I assumed you weren't allowed to do that, or
They
most
tried-
people didn't.
They don't want you to do it because of COVID and everything, but I saw people doing it when I was buying my Scarecrow at Spirit.
I just figured people bought the costume. It's kind of like a one size fits all, like an adult, big, small, that kind of thing.
No.
So yeah, because my point being, why not? Why are like it should just go all online? Like if there's no trying the costumes on, but since they're trying it
Yeah.
on, like I guess that's why people go there. But I've never had my kids try on a costume.
Well, it depends on if you need it or not. Like for you, because you're, and this is going to sound silly, but because you're of normal or average size, you ordering anything online is always going to be better than me. If I order any costume online, because of my height, it's just not going to work, So like me being able to see things in person is definitely more beneficial. That's why I don't subscribe to any of these. I've tried it before, but like Trunk Club or any of these like clothing things where you can like try and get, because my wardrobe is trash, right? And my underwear's falling off my body. There's a poo-poo stains all in it. It's disgusting. But I don't buy any clothing because it's too hard to shop for a half man.
Well, don't you give those companies your measurements?
You do,
that's
but
all
like
they
still
am.
the
Some of
lengths. The length they don't carry the lengths because I'm deformed.
Yeah. Well, that's just
I'm hideously deformed, Tom.
That's God's fault.
So the harder thing about it was though that they had all these rules about the changing rooms, like you could only try on one costume at a time. For some reason, there was no there was like no photography allowed.
Well, yeah,
And I
because I'm
don't-
changing in a changing room.
I like
Mike
for
B.
some reason I'm perplexed. I like that. I like the
They
confusion.
didn't mean like me. They meant like the people trying on costumes weren't supposed to take pictures of them. But I'm
Right.
like, how am I supposed to enforce that? Like everyone's
Right.
behind a curtain.
They
So
were
you-
are the worst changing rooms of all time, too.
Yeah,
Why
but it's
did they
just
have-
PVC and a black curtain. It's
Yeah,
kind of
it's
like
like a
our
sheet.
It was like our setup for Dan Cummins at OLE. It was
There's
like
always
just,
trash in there.
yeah, it was like PVC and then
Well, because it was in like some old Marshalls that they had to just make.
No, if it was in a Marshalls, they would have actual fitting rooms. These were in like things that had no
Yeah.
changing rooms, and they made one.
like a shoe store or
Yeah.
something.
yeah, they
No,
put a
it
shower
was
curtain
like-
up.
It was like plywood stalls,
Yes,
spray
they would put
painted
a plywood.
black
Yep.
but
with
like the-
PVC and black curtain.
It's like the changing room at Hot Topics. The curtain would never close. I
Yeah.
always wondered why girls were going in there. I'm like, that
We
these
can see
guys.
you.
I was like, that these guys are hanging out down there because they're creepos, right?
But
Yeah.
but they even if they did do it in old Marshalls, because I've seen this before, they'd cut the store in 1/4 because there's no way they could fill it out.
Correct.
So they'd have to do the changing because the changing rooms
Well,
are all the way in the
nowadays
back.
that's not the case. Those Spirit Halloween stores are huge now, and they're everywhere.
Yeah, but
They
not
got a ton of inventory now.
Yeah, the one like I know what he's talking about. The one that we have behind us that's at this mall. What they did is they took like what was like a Burdines or a J.C. Penney,
Oh, something huge, like
and
a
then
huge
they
department store.
walled the back of it. So there's a fake wall in the back of it because he's right. The
be
department
too
store,
big.
it's like double.
Yeah, if it's that big,
it's
yeah.
like 3 stories. So there's no way. And they just filled the main room, and then the changing room is just a PVC stanchion that they put up.
Yeah.
So, did you get any idea about how much money these places make? Because all they're selling is like
Trash.
cheap Chinese trash, right? That they
Plastic,
probably
just
they,
garbage.
They buy in unbelievable bulk and they sell it at what 200% markup. So, are they cashing in? Like, could you see any invoices for how much they paid for the costumes and then resold them for?
So I don't have any like direct invoice knowledge. That was kind of above my head at that point. But I do know that So these costumes were really, really cheaply made. They weren't buying like the best quality of anything.
Right.
So it was they had to be paying like just a couple bucks for these costumes, but they were charging anywhere from like $40 to $80 depending on how complete these costumes were. So I imagine you're making just thousands of percent of return. And there was also like a super strict and super held to no return policy.
Yeah.
The moment you got out of that store, you're done. But
you know what's very odd to me with these type of stores? Like, yeah, I mean, most of the stuff that they are selling, there is absolutely no returns and there's no recourse, right? Like once you bought it, you bought it. That's yours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they have to do it that way because people will straight up wear the Halloween costume and then return it after.
Well, they also have gone to,
they'll do that.
One of the things I've noticed too, and I don't know if this is just what you do when you want to get the quick dollar or what you do when you think things are on the decline, or if it's just a great way to get extra money on the back end. They've adopted the Blockbuster model, and so is Joann Fabrics and Michaels and these craft stores. They've adopted the Blockbuster model of when you go, and Old Navy does it too. When you get to the registers, you're about to leave, you have to go through a maze of prizes and candy.
Yep.
Impulse buy.
It's what old Blockbuster used to do. You'd have to go through the candy and the snack maze, and you'd be grabbing everything. Joann does it now. Old Navy does it now.
Grocery stores have been doing it for years.
But it's a longer line now at the old Spirit. It used to be you just go to the thing. You know, now when you weave through the line, they got like Kinder Eggs and they got candy and little things that Maisie wants, stuff placed correctly for children. And how much money are they making on the back if they didn't have that? Let's say they didn't have that little butt funnel. Yeah. What did they make? Is that propping up the whole company?
That's
I bet it's a ton of money, dude.
Yeah, because they're buying that spider ring for less than a penny, and they're selling it for 50 cents. So, you know, like your 500% markup on all those tiny garbage things. And I bet you they don't even make that much on those gigantic, like, animatronic
That's what I'm thinking. I think they make their money on this butt funnel that they've made of candy.
Yeah, because the animatronic things, they'll probably make, $20 on that.
Well, animatronic's good. Like, it's a good product. I like it.
But they use that to attract the people in the store to buy the 1 penny garbage, and they make a 500
tiny fireworks. It's a tiny fireworks thing that we learned from Craig from Pyro Spot.
The cheapest garbage
They're also
they make the most.
Well, I don't know about Halloween City, but Spirit Halloween now is getting all the trademark stuff. So they have Disney stuff now. They have Beetlejuice, like licensed stuff.
Oh, you're right. Yeah,
so they're actually getting good quality licensed material.
Yeah,
now.
Spirit has it's the first time I think I've seen one that's Mario, not Cartoon Plumber.
Right. Yeah.
Like they got the real.
We were more of a Cartoon Plumber. Store.
Yeah.
Although
it's not really an M, kind of like an M.
They have to be affected just like everybody else though by Amazon and the internet and stuff with taking a portion of their sales, right? Like I'm sure that it's been on the decline.
But it's also like an experience for people to go to Spirit. Like you do, you bring your damn kids. Like everybody brings their. It's like an activity to do with your family.
Yeah.
You know what it is? It's every man's version of the drum section at Sam Ash Music. It's annoying as hell. It's like it's everybody takes their family to Spirit so they can step on everything and press all the buttons and everything. It's just like
Put all the masks on.
The drum section of any music store. You go back there and there's 100 fat dads and 100 kids that are tippy tapping on every drum set, and it's driving people insane.
So I can tell you that is 100% the case, though, because there was a particular instance where I was working the night shift and I was already fairly sauced up, but people would just bring their kids in, hand them money, and then say, buy whatever you want. Like, whatever you can get with this amount of money, just go buy. Little kid comes up, buys fake cigarettes, like the little fake cigarettes for a costume. I'm like, whatever, fake cigarettes, sell them cigarettes.
Mom going as Morton Downey Jr.
Yeah. Mom comes back up and has a whole conniption fit about why I would sell her child cigarettes. And I'm like, well, ma'am, first of all,
we don't sell cigarettes here.
Fake cigarettes. So I don't think there's any rules about selling people fake cigarettes. But maybe if you were watching them, this wouldn't happen.
Oh, you said that? Oh my God, you chopped it.
I was shift faced, so
Mike,
you kind of just run off at the mouth.
We don't have to do
We're
that.
letting it fly. Anything
Yeah,
goes,
we're
Tom
letting it fly. I
said.
forgot.
how
Root canal Tom says anything goes.
Yeah, he's in a lot of
Just
pain.
don't ask him about it.
Yeah, he's in a lot of pain.
I'm always curious in the functioning day drinking, morning drinking alcoholic, where how many times do you have to re-up because like everybody who drinks knows like you get the initial buzz and then it just wears off and then you start feeling like crap.
If I
and
like
then
to
you have
continue
keep
my
it-
buzz, I can maintain with about, once I get to homeostasis, this is me,
Yeah.
about a Coors Light every 45 minutes rules.
Okay,
And I can
yeah,
just
that's what I mean.
ride it all day.
It's like
Yeah.
a cruise ship.
yeah, you can ride it all day.
You got to keep
It's
re-upping.
efficient.
Yeah.
It's like a flat
Well,
road.
So how many times do you have to re-up?
So what you do is you buy yourself you go to the liquor store in the morning if you're working at like 1, which most of my shifts were night shifts. Occasionally I get the mornings, but I worked a lot of night shifts. So you just show up, you buy the little 2-pint special at the liquor store, and you buy yourself 2 1 liters of Pepsi. Split them
1
about
liter.
half and half. You get a break every like 2 to 3 hours for 15 minutes. No, well, that's
Damn,
the
that's
thing.
a pretty good break schedule.
Yeah, I mean, you get like 10 to 15 minutes. There were so many people, they just break you off and it would be like nothing ever happened. So you just step out to the car, refill your Pepsi a little bit. You got to kind of watch it so that you don't come back with like a full Pepsi when they're like, well, you've been drinking one all day. Then you go on
They would
lunch, you
say
do
that?
the same thing. I mean,
They could
people
smell the
are
whiskey
nosy.
on 'em.
I'll be like,
Yeah,
if you grease pencil the line on my Pepsi, I'll kill you.
Yeah. And did anybody ever like call you out for being drunk?
Well, the best thing about it was about 2 weeks in, I went on my liquor run on my lunch break, and my boss was in there on her lunch break doing the same thing.
Nice.
No. Okay.
And you fell in love and you're married to this day.
But we kind of found out that we both were just drinking on the job, and then
This
it
is
was
like the
hey,
saddest version of You've Got Mail I've ever heard.
Well, what's interesting is that if you think about it, with a seasonal pop-up store like a Spirit,
Yeah, who gives a damn?
Like,
Because you know you're not going to have a job in a month.
who
Yeah.
gives? Like, does anybody care about the business and like the company
What if
itself?
you've got Spirit for Spirit?
Like, no one cares, right? Everybody's like, do whatever you want. Who cares? This is this will be shut down.
Yeah, it's a temporary job.
Yeah, like so. How
It's like the rental car of jobs.
how do you get people to even care and to do their job? It's got to be the. I mean, imagine nowadays with the lack of
Oh,
employees.
they don't
everywhere,
care. No.
Like
No one cares.
the least amount of caring employees are the Spirit Halloween employees right now.
Well,
right?
I'll give you a for instance. To get my scarecrow at Spirit, we found it at one store. They said they didn't have any. We said, can you check other stores to see if they have them? They said, sure. They checked. They said, yeah, these 2 other stores have them. We drove to those 2 other stores. They did not have them because they did not check. I had to find it online.
Oh yeah.
Oh, by the way,
No one
Ghost of
cares.
Manu Bull says that Spirit Halloween, you can do an Instacart deal, and you can go online, shop, and they'll just deliver whatever the F you want straight to your house.
That's where I think it's gonna go because why?
It's already there, dude. What do you mean?
No,
He's doing it.
I'm saying like eventually we're not going to see all these pop-up Halloween stores like because they don't want to rent and pay employees.
It's too much money.
They just get like they'll just middleman it to you
Just
straight
have
to
a
your
warehouse
house
somewhere
Yeah.
here that I'll go like, I want a Grim Reaper, and I'll have it there in an hour.
and then offer free returns like before Halloween.
Amazon already does that.
Yeah,
Do you know how
you couldn't
convenient
do it
it is
after
to
Halloween.
drive your return up to FedEx and just hand it to the lady, and then you get your money back in like 2 minutes? Have you seen that?
Yeah,
Have
yeah.
you done that yet? It's crazy.
That'll change once every mall is shut down. That Amazon will be like, no
I'll be
more.
goddamn.
Like,
They do have Instacart on their website.
Yeah, I told you. I know. That's a game changer. Ghost has been holding out with all his little life hacks. This guy's got his life in check.
so Mike B,
Tom.
what?
Oh, I was going to say, I think like most corporations that employ like a large number of people, they understand that there's going to be slackers.
Yeah.
But they also know that there are people who just inherently I have a fear of disappointing people. So I'll always try. And I think that's what they kind of rely on is that there are going to be a select amount of people that are just going to put in more work and more effort than other people. And you just kind of lean on those people. The slackers will get done what they're going to get done. And you have those little pocket of people that you have on every shift that are just going to do the bulk majority of whatever they're going to do.
Yeah, true. I mean, it's just a numbers game. They just need the store open so people can buy their Chinese garbage. That's basically the whole business plan. So, Mike, I want to know, how much did you take home in your paycheck? Not hourly, because it's hard for me to do the math. And I want to know after taxes, how much do you take home?
Well, it was the minimumest of wages. It was bare minimum wage.
Certainly you didn't get 40 hours a week, right?
I did, because I was.
Oh, you were the good
hired.
employee. That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're the lion's share guy. Yeah.
Like, this guy actually works. Put him on full time.
Yeah, I mean, even though I was drinking and smoking weed and high.
Oh,
most
you've
of the
never
day,
not been a hard worker. That's never been
Yeah.
questioned. Yeah, I get it, man. That probably just made you work faster.
Yeah, but it just made work bearable. The fact that I was working for minimum wage.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, I think after taxes, I was taking home somewhere between $250 and $300 a week.
Whew.
That's rough.
rough. That's hard. That's a lot of work.
1 week of 40 hours and your paycheck's $278. You're like, God
that's
damn.
hard. That's hard.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Hard to live off that. Although,
And even though it was 10, 12 years ago, it was not it was still, I was living with my parents. That's the only way that it actually worked still. Because most of that money went to I'd give a little bit to my parents and then I'd just drink the rest of it away.
yeah.
Isn't that what the guy does, the main character in Squid Game? A little money to his mom, and he drinks the rest. All he wants is a dirty teddy bear for his daughter.
I'd kill for a Squid Game right now.
Would you do Squid Game right now if you could? Would you enter?
Yeah. I mean, I'd have to tell my wife, I'm sorry, I'm really going to try. But at the end, I mean, if it doesn't go so well,
I don't think you know what? I would never enter. There is
super sad, Mike. Why'd you take a turn?
He listened to the show this morning.
I told my wife, and I feel like my wife, it disappointed her a little bit, Mike. I told my wife that there's no amount of money that I could have us in the hole as a family, even that's going to mess up their lives. No amount of money. It could be $5 billion I'm in debt, and I would never kill myself. I'm just not going to. I'm going to ride it out. I'm going to see. Let's see what happens with this $5 billion in debt. Let's see where it goes.
I mean, there's no debtor's prison.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
I mean, there are people, they boil your feet and try to.
Ross sent me that story. They're really.
That's what I was going to say, Tom. Weren't you already in kind of a betting Squid Game back when you were betting all those money with the red shoes?
He's an old squid. This guy, Squid Walls.
Here's
squid
the
betting.
thing about bookies that nobody talks. They never kill you.
No.
Then they never get paid.
They'll never get paid. Yes.
They'll rough you up, intimidate you for a while. You'll eventually, then they write it off because it's a pain in the ass following you around. So there's fuck it.
No, I want the bookie. I want the committed bookie who beats you up every Tuesday at 6:00 until you pay him forever, for the rest of your life.
They're always. You know what? I got a question about this. I know we got to get out of here, but why do they always beat you up in the bathroom? You ever
It's
notice
easy to
that?
trap. There's only one in. There's only one
you're right.
entrance exit.
You're right.
By the way,
And no windows to crawl out of.
that's
Thank
more
you,
of
Mike.
a mob thing. That really doesn't happen. Most regular bookies, illegal bookies.
I went with you one time. He was really nerdy, man.
First, they're friends. Someone's got to vouch for you to even start doing bets with them, and they'll start your limit super low, and to make sure you start paying. As soon as you don't pay, they just move on and cancel your account.
You're done.
It's not worth it for them to go.
And they'll just pass
chase
that
out.
along to other people when you try to get another bookie.
Yeah.
The reputation will follow you, and you're done.
And then they'll stop letting your buddy that vouch for you.
It hurts his rep too. Yeah.
So he'll probably pay your debt just so he can continue to bet with you. It's all a facade.
It's all about relationships. It has nothing to do with murder, typically.
That's in the movies where they beat you up. And
we created the mob via movies and books, right?
Yeah.
Or the modern day version.
Bookies don't really do. And now it's FanDuel. Did you hear they're just now they're opening it up in Florida with the tribes. Although if someone said aren't you excited? I'm like, what's the difference between that and me just betting offshore? I'm betting that it's not like what I can go get down 10,000
It's like
on
when
the
people
side.
told me Spotify, you can stream any song you want. I was like, I've been stealing every song I want for the last 15 years. What are you talking about?
Yeah, nothing has changed for me personally. Why would
now
I?
I gotta pay for it. It's $9 a month.
I'm gonna drive to the casino to what? Like, who's betting 10,000? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you could bet higher limits, but I'm not betting that much, so it doesn't matter anyway. All right, Mike.
Can I just tell you that the worst part about working for Spirit Hollow or working for Halloween
Well,
City?
careful. Do not besmirch the name of Spirit.
It didn't
No,
sound
Spirit's
like
a
you
beautiful place.
even described one good thing yet, because it's all sounded horrible.
I beg to differ.
Well, you got to drink on the job.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say whiskey in 1 liter sounds pretty tasty
Yeah,
right
most
about
people
now.
could drink on their job if they wanted to.
We can't hear.
But they don't.
I mean, a lot do. like a lot.
My
do.
mom did. There wasn't a time my mom ever taught when she
Come on.
wasn't hammered.
Come on.
So the worst part about working there were some shifts where I'd get scheduled to work the sexy costume wall, which is basically all the.
I could not stop from jacking off.
I couldn't stop myself. I am a predator.
So the worst part about it is those costumes only come from sizes extra small to large, and they are still cut.
And
very
even
small.
the large one, I feel like they did it
Yeah.
as a goof.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
They're like, we're
still
doing this
cut-
for the husbands that want to
Yeah.
make their wives laugh. Don't.
Be like, look where this is made. The smaller people.
Even our bigs are smalls.
But right next to the sexy costume wall was the plus size costume wall.
Oh,
And
God.
the worst thing about working that job was when people would come on
Just point.
and say, hey, I want the sexy Robin costume. And I'm like, and what size would you want that in? And they're like,
We're all out of gigantic.
they're like, oh, well, extra large. I'm like, only goes up to large. Like, well, let me try
Fresh
that
out of
one on.
Mambos.
They're like, well, let me try that one on. And I'm like,
It ain't
Well,
gonna fit, girl.
Nah, dog. Don't stretch out my maid outfit. Come
like,
on.
well, we can do that, but we do have the extra large version of this.
Oh,
over
how
in our-
dare you?
You know what?
Why?
Fuck you, mustache. Fuck you. That's what I
Why?
would say.
Why even tell them?
Yeah, just let
them
them try the large.
Yeah.
Just let them do
No.
whatever they want.
Just
Well,
I
they
would be like,
asked-
can't hear. Like I do something, get the fuck out of there. I wouldn't do it.
Well, they'd ask for extra large, and then I tell them, well, right here we only have them in large, and I was kind of corralled into this.
Don't say
wall
corral.
section.
Phrasing. That's cows.
Heifers. But then I'd have to just be like, the extra large version is over.
If you
in the
want, look, man.
plus size
If you want
section.
nice, quality, full-figured Halloween costumes, we all know Fairville is your choice. We know that.
Yeah.
You're not gonna look. Trust me, as a little guy who's put himself in a bunch of cheap costumes, when your body size is specialty and you buy a cheap costume, you look like shit.
Yeah.
It's just not. It's not smart to do it. You're wasting your money. Just go to a nice place. That sucks. Yeah, that would be a hard one, but I probably would have avoided it altogether. You didn't have to say anything. Tom's right.
All right, Mike. Well, good luck with your current job. You want to plug it so people can go see you? Does it matter? Does it make a difference?
Yeah, come check me out at Marlowe's. I'm cooking there all the time. But if you want to listen to me, you can listen to me on the Ono radio show every Thursday night at 8:30.
Both
Cool.
quality products.
I
Good
don't know. I
food.
tuned in last Thursday.
Great podcast.
Nobody was there.
Yeah, that's true.
I was gonna say we didn't even do one last Thursday.
That is true. But Marlowe's is dope.
And follow him on Twitch too. ONRS_Mike B.
I watch you play video games more than I get to catch the show because it's just more convenient the times for me. Like when you start popping in there and doing your Twitch feeds, man, we love you. We're proud of you. I hope all is still well. And hey, thanks for being on Weird Job, man.
No problem, guys. Talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. Be good. That is Mike B live from his studio. So he's a lovely man. Different when he's sober, right? Clear-headed.
Yeah. Those Spirit Halloween jobs have got to just be.
You know what I'm wondering now?
round the clock
Because I don't
scenario.
think originally Spencer's owned Spirit. I wonder now if during the Halloween season they just kind of put some of their Spencer's employees there for the month
I think
or for
they
2
do.
months. So then they don't have to do like this whole hiring thing. They just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think you might be right.
I'm sure
I'll ask Lisa.
One of the ladies we had, though, when we were trying to track down the Scarecrow, was a Spirit employee that had been a Spirit employee, I think a Spencer's employee, for a long time. Like, she was like a...
Dude, they stay in the game for a while.
She had like a headpiece and everything, and she was like...
I guess they get treated pretty well by the company.
Yeah, they have to, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this lady...
Same.
Hey, these guys were like... They were... I mean, they didn't know anything because they were like new hires, but they, seemed like a good enough job,
All right, we'll see you next time. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. EJ's here.
He is indeed. Do I even play the intro or we jump into it?
Let's just start.
Yeah.
Here, I could just do I can give like a...
there we go. Just a little
teaser.
Yeah.
Okay, there we
It's
are.
like a DC fandom. Let's do it real fast.
Boom.
I like how we did say we're like, okay, we'll start
it, yeah.
cutting it back because people are like, well, you could do less. You don't have to be a full 40.
We're like, no.
20.
We'll keep doing the same.
We'll skip the intro and do more.
Well, now that he's in here, I feel like,
Yeah,
well,
because now you can't really be really mean to me because
Can't
there's
hang up on him.
actual consequences for your
Oh no,
words.
he's been really mean to people today. You have no idea. You
I haven't
came
been mean
on
to anybody.
You
Why
came on
is
Mean
everybody
Day.
so sensitive?
You came on Mean
I
Day.
know. I had to because I got chopped this week for the Guillotine League. So
Yeah.
I figured I got to take
I
my
did get-
lumps and be good with it.
And
I-
it's
I shouldn't
guillotine,
get-
right?
I
Guillotine.
believe we did look this up.
It's guillotine. Like both of you knuckleheads have been saying guillotine. Like my
I like
dad used to say.
guillotine.
My
Like
dad also.
quesadilla.
My dad also used to say, "Dad Lee, we got to break this up. Bring me my sledgehammer." And I'm like, Dad, it's not a sledgehammer.
Yeah. I guess
He also
guillotine.
he couldn't say hors d'oeuvres. My dad would say hors d'oeuvres because he is very illiterate.
See, what makes me the most mad about me getting cut from that league is it was my own fault. I didn't change two different players that were
Yes.
out that week.
Yeah,
Yes.
just injuries.
And
Not
it was
paying
my own
attention.
fault
And
that
I-
I dumped every tight end I had and had no tight ends.
Yeah. Well,
That's the way the game works. It is your fault.
Yeah, you
Yes.
can't make a mistake any week.
yeah, I don't
That's how-
understand
But
your
I-
logic here.
But you could buy another tight end. I guess
I bought another
could've,
tight end, and
yeah.
guess how many points he got that week? Zero.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't in the lineup because everybody had all the tight ends that were being played.
There was no tight end
No.
available.
Well, there was, but he was there.
yeah.
He just they're not going to go to him.
Anyway, so want to just start?
Yeah. I thought that's what we were doing.
Okay.
Very
well,
anticlimactic.
Sports
Do your
talk.
thing. Go.
Yeah, sports
Oh,
talk.
man.
Damn it.
All right, let's start
fed
off
up.
with Bernstone then. FX canceled Why is the Last Man.
That's correct.
Yeah, and you just started it.
I started watching the first episode. I left Samantha's house after I did the semantics contest.
Whoa, does Travis know about
It was
that?
she was
He
there.
was there.
Yeah.
So I knew they were gonna cancel it because you liked it.
He didn't just started
I just
it.
started. I'm like, as soon
There
as
it
I
goes.
pushed play, I was flipping through Twitter as I was watching the beginning intro. It's like, oh, it canceled. Like, God.
It does feel. Remember back, and this is definitely a dumb old man thing to say, but there used to be a time when news traveled at a normal speed. So when things were canceled, it almost felt like you got the opportunity to watch it. So let's say you were watching. Remember Gotham, that show?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's still on. I'm guessing it is.
No, it's
Or you got canceled?
it's
Okay.
done. No, it's done. It finished.
But remember, like when it rolled out, it was like you heard all about it, and then like if I'm going to watch something and somebody says, "Oh yeah, it's canceled," or what, like I'm out. I'm not even gonna start it because I feel like they had more to tell.
Well, they're still shopping it to other places. Like, Why
Yeah,
is the
I
Last
feel
Man?
like once you shop it out, it's like it's already been. It's like it would be like laying down with a girl at a party who had already banged Tom.
How dare you? It seems.
You know what I mean?
It seems like.
I'd be like, "Did you take a shower or something?" Or is this like,
Tell
did
me if you
wash?
guys think this.
How long ago were you?
If a network puts out a show, immediately it's tarnished in my mind a little bit because it's
it's a
associated
network.
with the network,
Yeah.
and I
That's
associate
true.
that now with less quality, or somehow their vetting process is broken. Because I think the entire entertainment industry had built themselves up to a certain point where they did things a certain way, and they got ingrained people in there, like obviously horrible people, some of them, but like just the way they do things was like the way they always did things, and then the internet hit and changed it all, and now they're still holding on to some of those practices, which I think makes shows worse because there's certain like executives that still have a subjective opinion on which shows should be aired, and I think that's flawed in some way. And the way that like Netflix and all the streaming services do it now seems to be, and I don't know this to be true, but like a better way, or they can produce more quality content.
Okay.
Right?
Well, it's on FX though. Like a lot of people are moving away from that. It's also on Hulu. That's the reason
FX
why I'm
has a
watching
ton
it.
of good shows,
But
though.
they do. But it's usually on like cable networks. It's hard to find it sometimes.
Yeah,
like they do
FX was-
FX and they do FXX.
Oh, I thought this
Well,
was
and that
like
was
a
garbage.
traditional network show.
No,
Like, it
well, it's on-
kinda
it's
is, though.
Fox, but it's
more
their-
Bobo. It is
yeah.
because like FX. I remember when FX would come out with shows like Nip Tuck back
Yeah.
in the day.
Well,
And
plus
it'd be
this-
like a spicier. There were like 3 tiers. You'd be like regular network, so you're like your ABC, NBC, Fox, right?
Yeah.
So that's squeaky clean. And then you'd have your next tier for me, which would be like FX, where you'd get like a little bit of side boob, the occasional S word, and then you had your full blown cable networks like your HBO, Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how I like in
Well,
my
those
mind.
are like more. You got to pay
mainstream.
for those.
Yeah, that was like a
FX,
bigger-
TBS, TNT, like Comedy Central, stuff like that. That'd be like mid tier.
I do profile when I know what is going to which network, to use like a racial term, but like when
FX is known for some pretty good shows, though.
Yeah.
But
But
I
it's for a
still judge
cable
it.
network.
Yeah,
I
I,
think the
still
reason-
judge it though. Like to me, it might as well be USA.
I think the
You know
reason
what I
why
mean?
they cut it is
Or
because
TNT.
it was a huge budget, and I think FX. If it was on Fox, they would keep the budget, and I think they would have kept the show. But because it's on FX, it's costing too much money, and that's why they're shopping it to like someone like maybe just
You
to
need
put
a
it on
premium
Hulu.
network.
Yeah,
I think if you're going to do something that grandiose and tell a story it's a crazy story.
it's kind of like when HBO Max is putting
Yeah.
all the DC
Yes.
stuff out. Like I just watched the Long Halloween, which was fantastic.
Good.
Both part 1 and part 2 together because they both came out.
Is
Good,
it
fantastic.
one of these things where they have a good premise for a show, or at least a unique premise, and then they get together all the actors, they cast it, whatever, and they start it, and then they just keep tabs on how it's doing, and then like it's kind of up to the writers and the actors to make something out of it. Because if the acting is okay, they're good actors, but they're not like. There's no chemistry, or there's nothing special, and then
And
the
that could just be
writing
a
is
natural-
like go-
that's casting.
Yeah,
Well,
then
think about
like-
it. It's
yeah.
a unique show because it's all women, and most of the cast and the crew is all women. So that was one of the selling points. But it being canceled, it kind of looks bad on the network. Like, oh, we're canceling the old women show.
I just think if you
Well,
were
if
going to
it's not
do
if
it,
it's not testing well, they just
No, but like
It-
the
it
people
would-
that are watching it love it.
Love it, yeah.
But
It's
it
just I don't think they. I was gonna say sponsored, but I don't think they promoted it
Marketed
enough.
it
Yeah.
correctly,
no, they did not, because like I
They
didn't
didn't
see
push it, yeah.
Even some of the mildly nerdy places I go to read about video games and read about comics and stuff that I like. And look, I throw a lot of nerd bombs out there, and EJ knows this,
Yeah.
but I'm self-professed a nerd. I still have. I still got to give you your Walking Dead book. I finally finished it last
You
week
finished
because I
it?
got
Okay.
extra time. I
Okay.
finally finished it. It's like 4
Well, they
years
should have
in the
promoted it
making.
like YouTube or Twitch. Twitch
Yeah.
previews would have been perfect for Why the Last Man.
Twitch would have been great, and I just think that story is so big and so adult that it would have been better served on a premium network. But that's just me.
If it was good, other people would be promoting it, just like Squid Game and how things work nowadays. Think about it. Like we were saying, why aren't they promoting it more? Like if it was good, people would be like, "Hey, have you watched this?" Because that's how people.
Yeah.
That could be
Like,
true.
that's how
you have
everybody
a-
watches things. Like
You have a marketing budget, but at the same time, you also have a special effects budget, and I think they spent most of their money in special effects and
I could see
sets
that.
and stuff like that. So they probably cut the marketing budget. Is my opinion, is what they did.
I would bet on it's not that good.
Would you bet your job on it?
I wouldn't. Well, here's it's subjective.
I was
I'll
gonna
bet.
do that
I'll bet a
today. You
monetary
beat me to
amount
it.
that if any of us watched it, we'd be like, eh. Like I bet you, like it would. If all of us watched it collectively, we'd give it a score of a 4. Like
Out of
1
what?
Out of 10.
1
Out
out
of
of 10.
10?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh no, I think it'd be higher than
I
that.
would say
I-
probably
I-
7, 8.
I think
Probably
Christine-
from the first episode
Well,
I watched.
Christine
I
brings
give
up
it
something.
1, so
that-
bring it down.
I think Christine
Average.
brings up something that you're not taking into account, though, is the style of what we're watching. Maybe why The Last Man doesn't fit the style of content that we're digesting right now.
Mm-hmm.
We like things that hit you in the face fast, and we like them to burn real fast, and we like them to be super popular.
Yeah.
And for what everybody's been telling me, not just Christine, but you,
Slow
and
burn.
that Why The Last Man is it's a tale. You know, it's an
And
epic.
it's grim.
It's grim. It's dark and it's slow.
Yeah, they
and
killed
it's
3.5
just-
billion people in the first episode.
It's not our taste right now. You know, like I think, you
Yeah.
know, globally, it's just not
Yeah.
what we're really into. But man, the comics are fantastic. I cannot like them more. They're one of my favorite of all time. So I don't know. I think I will probably avoid this now since it's not gonna keep
I would
telling
see.
the
I would,
tale.
if they do
Well,
get it shopped and it goes to someplace else, I'll let you know.
Okay.
For sure.
Let me know.
That'd be the reason to watch it.
Next story.
Okay. I did send something to Sam. Did you forward that
I
picture
did.
to him? So
I sent you an email, Dan, if you want to pull it up.
yeah. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Cobra Kai are working together, and they're doing figures for it. I think it's Hasbro.
Okay, I'm into
is doing
that.
It.
Well, it would have been Playmates back in the
I
day,
think
right?
it's Playmates, but I think Hasbro has the
they
the
bought
rights
Playmates?
now. I think. I'm not totally sure. This is another thing I'm getting wrong, and I'm going to admit to it. I'm not going to bet my job on this.
Okay,
for sure.
you know, I only.
This isn't working.
Yeah, it is working.
You're prefacing things by being like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's
That's
like
all I want.
We've fallen into line. Like we're like this. All this guy has to do is take his belt off and whack it a couple times, and everybody's straightened up. I remember my father. It's a weird thing. I remember my father buying me a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle doll and then turning it around and seeing that the company that made it was called Playmates, and he laughed at it. That's a true story.
I can believe that.
He's like, Playmates? What the hell? I ain't buying you no damn doll. This is a ninja turtle. He thought it was for boys.
Yeah, so they have the four regular turtles, so Raphael, Donatello, Michelangelo, Leonardo, and then they have
Lean over. He's a completely different turtle.
No, it's not bend over like that freaking.
Keep going.
Okay, keep going.
Oh my God, I like that. I like that. He forgot the dad joke. It's not bend over like that. I got nothing.
Well, there was a school thing that.
Keep
You're
going.
doing it again. Oh, he did it again. That's two. One more time,
Okay.
and dumb
So
Beetlejuice shows
John
up.
Kreese, Manuel, who's the new kid on it, and then Daniel LaRusso and Johnny Lawrence, and they're matched up. They're like dual figure sets, which is really cool.
I'm pulling this up so we can see this here. Oh, okay. All right. This is good. Go here.
Is it of them when they're young or they're old men?
I think because it like Daniel LaRusso, I think it's still kind of younger.
It's like
Daniel
in the
LaRusso.
middle.
It's kind of in the middle. Like, cause what? What's the actor name that plays Daniel LaRusso?
I
can't think of
It's
his
going to be
right,
like upper 40s
He's
now, right?
I want to say 50s
50s?
for sure,
Yeah.
but he still looks like he could pull off his 30s.
In real life?
Yeah.
Like he looks like he's in 30s?
He looks like he did in the original Karate Kid. Just
hold on,
older, just a little bit older, yeah.
Well, no, in the
Ralph
original...
Macchio.
Ralph Macchio.
Yeah.
God, I couldn't
Ralph
think of that name. That's
Macchio,
weird.
I mean, he looked abnormally young. He's the old young man. Where he
Yeah.
looked younger than he
Yeah,
was when
but
he was
you know what,
17. He looked 14.
You know what young old men get that I just noticed? It took me like a very long time to figure this out, how you can tell that they're a young old man. They get bags under their eyes like they've been using drugs.
Oh, yeah.
And you look at them, you're like, wait a minute, young old man, I think I've got your number. And you look, they got gray bags. You can't hide that.
Yeah, I think whatever that
He's
is.
seen a lot of atrocities. It's in his. He's seen it. Like his skin is good.
Well, he was in Holiday in the 80s. So
yeah, he
there you go.
moisturizes and stuff.
Now, is this for kids or is this for old
Collectible
nerds like
fat
you?
dads.
Collectible for sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
collectible
Yeah.
fat dads.
So this
100%.
is for fat dads.
No kid will play with
okay,
this.
right.
No.
I'll do a Tom Van and say no child will ever touch these.
I'm gonna
Ever.
buy it for my
And they
kids
don't want
just so
them.
they can play
They
with
don't
it.
even want them. I looked at them. I'm like, this is lame.
Yeah,
it
but
doesn't even
EJ
have any of the
wants it.
weapons.
Yeah,
It doesn't
yeah.
have any of the bow staff. It doesn't have the
Oh,
size.
it bothers the crap out of me when my daughter or my son opens like toys from the box.
Why do you leave them out?
No. It's not my stuff. It's their stuff. I'm like, because she got a Wonder Woman the other day from a con.
And what is
And
it?
my daughter just opened it up. I'm like, oh.
Show me one action figure in the package right now that has earned enough money in the package that it would actually be valuable, right? That's such a rarity, isn't it? It's got to be.
My wife sells them all the time. Like she's been
But
going
I mean,
through my
like
stuff
the
and selling
one,
them,
like
yeah.
that one Wonder Woman, I held on to it for about 5 years, and it's worth like $10,000. I just don't think that happens.
It's rare.
Yeah.
You know.
She sold one of my Spider-Man for like $250.
That's a lot.
Yeah, we
And
bought it for like
Sam
$25
looked up-
bucks.
I have a the rapper hip hop artist that passed away, MF Doom. I have an MF Doom doll that Sam looked it up, and she wasn't BSing. I went on eBay. I think it's worth like $900.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. But it's out of the package, and I sleep with it like a teddy bear.
Next story.
Oh well, the big story that was over the weekend is DC Fandom came out, and they previewed a lot of movies that are coming out.
They
did previewed. They did Shazam: Fury of the Gods. They did Peacemaker, which is the John Cena show they're going to put on HBO Max. It's going to be like a serial show, so it's going to be basically. Did you ever see the Suicide Squad, the new one with James Gunn?
I did not, but I heard good things.
It's actually really good.
Yeah, I heard it's
and
fun.
And he plays. Oh, has a good way to describe it. Imagine Captain America, but he's a real douchebag. and he's really into America, and he's willing to
That's
kill
kind of
people.
how I imagine Captain
Yeah,
America
I was like,
being alive. Like,
Yeah, I
it
think we-
sounds douchey to be like, I'm Captain America. Like, if he's not a douchebag, like, hold on. If anybody's named Captain America in real life, he's a douchebag, right?
I kind of agree with you.
Like
If you're
the
waving a
actual
flag
Cap-
a lot, yeah, you probably are a douchebag. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, if you call yourself
The
Captain
only people
America,
that dress as Captain America, there's only two people that do that. It's either Captain America or douche bros, right? You're right.
Yeah.
You're
Well, usually
kinda right.
they more lean towards the Punisher mostly, though. If you're a douchebag
Okay, I
like
see what
that,
you're
yeah.
saying. I see what you're
If
saying.
you're
Which is
going
odd.
It is odd.
But like Captain America, Chris Evans wise,
Is
you
this
kind of
like,
go for the ideals of what Americans should be
So-
and like patriotic, but also considering the minorities and all that stuff.
is
That's
this
what Captain
guy
America was.
like
no,
what's
Captain
his
America
name?
does not consider the minorities at all. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he has it for a while now. I feel like. Yeah.
Yeah, someone say I hate him.
No, because like in the preview, like John Cena's getting hugged by like a bald eagle, and
But
is
is this like the guy from the the Boys?
kind of like the boys a little bit?
Who's
yeah.
that guy's name? The bad guy.
Jensen's gonna play him. The new guy from Supernaturals in season 3. He's playing that
Yeah,
guy.
you know what I'm talking
He's
about.
like the soldier or something like that in the boys.
Also, my Captain America has a gun. He
did have a gun in the first
weak
movie.
P-word shield.
Yeah, shield. That's
Not
an
a shield.
anti-gun.
Yeah, it is anti-gun.
Shield. You know what you use a shield for? You break up your weed on it because it looks like a frisbee. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It might as well be a frisbee from Grills where they serve all the kids' meals on.
My Captain America has a red, white, and blue gun.
That's basically what this guy is.
yeah.
Seriously, the guy
Okay.
you're describing
like
is
I'll watch it.
this Peacemaker guy. And it's John Cena, so he's going over the top and everything.
Oh, Homelander.
Homelander.
That's who we're talking
oh,
about.
I thought you were
This
talking
sounds-
about the other guy.
This
That's
sounds
a
an
Captain America
awful
analog.
lot like Homelander, doesn't it? Peacemaker, Homelander, overly
Yeah, yeah.
douchey, American, kind of like vibrato
Yeah,
or
yeah.
bravado, whatever you want to call
Yeah,
it.
but did you see the preview for the Batman, which Robert Pattinson's in?
I knew you were going to talk about it. I did watch that preview. I enjoyed it. It looked really good, looked really dark. I'm not sure I can take Robert Pattinson as Batman yet, but I'm on board.
I'm down. He's an amazing actor.
Yeah,
I mean,
he looks good at
he
it,
looked
yeah.
good, but there's that one scene when
he punches the glass.
barely punches the glass.
Yeah, I was
like,
like,
whoa, 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 and I'm like, oh, come on.
she is.
Yeah, I'm like, that's dumb. That's a little dumb.
Yeah.
Remind me who that is again?
Twilight.
Twilight.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
the pale
He's a
man.
vampire, and he
Oh.
glitters when he
That's
gets
the
sunlight
only
on him.
movie I have not seen him in. I've seen him in everything else but
I'll
Twilight.
never forgive my wife for taking me to the
It's fine.
opening night of Twilight, and every girl screamed as
It's
soon as he got on the
fine.
screen. And then when Jacob shows up on the screen, everyone's screaming.
That's
oh,
the
God.
Wolf Man, right?
Yeah,
the Wolf
that was
Boy.
the worst night of my life, pretty much.
Really?
That's not that bad.
You had other tragedies.
Would you
Yeah.
bet your job on it? That was
know,
like,
oh, yeah,
you're like-
Other than my dad dying and my dog dying a week later.
Yeah, I was
so-
gonna try and stop people
A
from
month
saying
later.
that. Like, there are real bad days. Like, your mom dies. You're like, oh my God, that's really bad. Like, being trapped in a movie theater with all women watching Twilight, not that bad. Get a beer.
Next story.
Okay, the next one. They did The Flash, which they did. Michael Keaton is the narrator of the trailer, and it's definitely showing that the 1989 Batman is going to be in it. And at the end of it, they show the Batmobile being unsheathed, but they pull it off. They stopped it before it shows.
I like 1989 Batman.
A 1989
With
Batman.
Michael Keaton.
I like 1959
Yeah,
Batman
yeah.
because he doesn't
He's
take
60s
different.
Batman.
He's a little different.
ass from no women.
We have to stop here and smoke cigarettes, Robin. It's healthy.
Next story.
Oh well, what else did they show on there? They also showed Black Adam with The Rock. They showed the preview for that.
Okay.
Have you seen the trailer for that?
Did not see that.
It's pretty exciting. It looks good. Like,
Pretty good?
He pulls off Black Adam. He's all cloaked in, and he shows up, and someone says Shazam, and he shows up, and he kills a guy by just holding him and striking him with lightning.
So
The Rock is Black Adam?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Black Adam is a superhero.
It's a superhero. He's like Captain Marvel's bad guy. So did you see Shazam
I have
with
not.
the kids? Okay. The kids would like that one. It's a hard story a little bit because it's about adoption a little bit. And how
Isn't
his
there
mother
like a
doesn't
super
love him.
traumatic scene in
There
there?
is.
Okay.
I was
There
'cause he
always
meets-
is,
I was
right?
like, I'm pretty sure Tom won't make it to that scene.
Oh God, yeah, because his spoiler alert. I'm giving you a heads up of a movie that came out 4 years ago. I think
think
was.
you're okay.
Yeah, the kid, Billy Batson is the kid. His mother leaves him at a carnival, and just doesn't come back for him.
That's it. I mean,
Oh, that's
best
not the
place to
scene
be
I was
left.
talking about.
And then
Best place to be
Yeah.
left.
Then he
Look at
finds
the
her.
positives.
It's like Akeem Woods. I was like, at
Look
least they
at the
left you at
positives.
SeaWorld.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
See, it's better than behind
You know what
a
I call
fire
that?
station.
You know what I call that? I call that living lucky, no fat chicks. That's what I call it. You got hey, where'd your parents leave you? They left me at the on the side of I-4. That's
Yeah.
terrible. Where'd your parents leave you? They left me in Fantasyland.
Also,
Disney World.
Small chance the carnies take you with them, and you start living a life.
And you learn a lot of what you learn.
No, he ends up
practical.
going to a group home.
You learn practical skills, like
he learns that his new
how to
family's
lie to
better.
old lady and tell her that you're spraying chemicals on their roof to water treat it.
Also, I don't I want to have a problem with like seeing that. I don't know, like fantasy.
Well, then later on, he goes and meets her as he's older, and because he spends his whole movie looking for her the whole time, and even though he gets the powers, then he finds out, oh, she just left me because she didn't want me.
Why did you give me
Imagine that.
I knew
Just-
you had powers.
No,
Well-
she didn't know he had powers at the time.
I mean, what did you think? She just forgot and then never like
Well,
like
something bad could have happened to her. She
Okay.
got abducted.
Full
lots of things.
transparency. If I ever leave Maisie at a carnival and then I run away and she finds me one day and she's got powers and she ding dong and I look to the people and I see her, I'm gonna go, oh my God, I've been looking for you. And I'll be like, oh Christ, she found me. But I'm gonna lie to her. I'm gonna be like, oh my God, I've been looking for you.
Yeah,
Found me. Oh, I love
'cause
you.
now she has powers.
I
Yeah.
love you. And then I'm gonna fake it until I figure out another way to get away from her.
But she didn't know he had powers. That's the thing.
Also, how good of a superhero are you when you couldn't put that clues together? You know what I'm saying? Like, I
You
mean,
should have flown. Like
you're that
even as a
devastated
kid.
that she left
Yeah,
you.
but maybe you're hoping that it's I finally found her and she was looking for
what
me.
are
but it couldn't
Shazam's
happen.
powers?
He's basically like Superman, except for a little bit of magic.
When did he get a little sprinkling of magic?
Yeah.
That's nice to have in your back pocket. When did he acquire said powers? Did he have them
He's
as
a
the child
kid.
at the
He's
carnival?
a kid. No, he got it when he was like, I want to say 12 or 13. So
With
like
puberty.
He has
Almost
the
before
wisdom of Solomon,
Yeah.
the strength of Hercules, the stamina of Atlas, the
Shazam
power
is
of
an
Zeus,
acronym.
the courage of Achilles, and the speed of Mercury.
Yeah.
But your mom still don't love you.
Yeah, that's what
All
she's saying.
right.
It's an acronym.
So he's
That's
got
what I would-
different
That would be my
abilities.
playground teasing if I.
Yeah.
I
I'd
know
say
I'm
you've
in-
got all that, but at least my mom loves me, Shazam. So take that with you.
I'm
You know
insane.
what? You can have all the powers, but I got love, and that's the greatest power of them all.
So you spend your whole life looking for your mom
From like
now,
6 to
but,
13.
But that assumes that you believe she's alive, and if she was alive, you would have to assume like she would contact authorities if she would have left me at the carnival. Like someone, you know what I'm saying? Like there would be some sort of like if she died, then you thought, oh, she must have died, and that's why I'm
yeah,
here.
where did he go after the carnival?
if
Who
you're-
took him in?
The cops found him, and he was like, they put him in a group home after that.
Yeah, but then,
But he kept on running away to try to find her.
but you would assume.
Like he was a troubled kid. And
Yeah,
think
yeah.
about it. He wanted to be positive. He was like, maybe it was just a bad scenario, and maybe she does want me. And
I'd be troubled
it's
too if my mom named me
heartbreaking.
Shazam. That's a hard name to not get teased about.
Well,
No,
don't
his name's
you
Billy Batson.
Oh, sorry.
come to grips with the fact that my mom did leave me?
Wait a
How
minute.
are you so devastated
But he's
when
a
you find?
kid.
Don't you become what
but
you're
you're
left
adult.
at? This origin story is wrong. He got left at the carnival. He should be like Carnival Man or the Scrambler. Don't you become something based on your traumatic?
Well, no,
Like-
he got the powers from a wizard called Shazam, and that's the reason when he says Shazam, that's why it's an acronym for all those powers he has.
Is the wizard like a strange father figure in his life?
Kind of, but he kind of leaves him too.
Oh man, what a a-hole wizard!
I can't not think of Shaq's character
Shazam.
Shazam. when
Or
this-
Kazam.
No, Kazam.
Oh, Kazam.
I
I'm
said
sorry,
Shazam.
whatever.
Yeah.
Genie, wasn't he?
Kazam versus Shazam. Who wins? The
Or
battle
you
of the
talking about
Zams.
Steel, where he was also the Superman
No,
analog.
Kazam. Like whatever reason, like
Kazam.
I can't take this superhero seriously because of Shaq's goofy ass movie that he made. It just ruins
Where he was
it for me.
rapping the whole time.
Was he?
Yeah.
Next story.
Okay, what was the other one? Do we talk about... Oh, we talked about The Flash. We talked about Batman. I'm trying to think of what else there was on there. Oh, and Helen Mirren is going to be in the new one, and so is Lucy Liu is going to be in the new Shazam. Fury of
Oh,
the Gods.
Helen Mirren. I'm a fan. She is. I find her to be very attractive and she's a great actress.
She's a great actress, and she's a great bad guy for that movie, for
Yeah,
sure.
she's cold. I like her poise. You
Yeah.
know, like people that are able to command just their facial features.
And
you
she
know,
can pull
like-
off action because she did Red with like
That was
Bruce
good.
Willis and
I
stuff like
enjoyed
that.
the Red flicks.
Yeah.
People crap on them, but sometimes
still
you just
like
want to
them,
see
yeah.
things explode.
Yeah.
She is in all the memes, right? Like about being like cold ass bitch.
I don't know.
Because she played the ice. Didn't she play some Ice Queen? Am I thinking of the wrong person?
I
You're
think you're talking
thinking
about,
the red-haired lady.
Oh yeah.
I thought you were talking about Tilda Swinton.
Tilda Swinton. Yep.
That's
No.
okay.
Yeah, she's the.
Helen Mirren was in the Billboard movie.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. The last story I have is they also have Blue Beetle as the last DC thing that they announced at Fandom.
Man, DC got some broke-ass characters.
Yeah,
Right?
Blue he's
Beetle?
a Mexican-American superhero.
Oh, Blue Beetle.
So Jaime, I can't remember his last name.
Was he a Volkswagen Beetle?
No,
That's what it sounds like, right?
he gets a scarab that goes on his back and it becomes like a super suit like Iron Man.
DC will never compete with Marvel because it's just lame.
Well, they're saying that because they did this with Fandom, like Marvel moved all their movies recently because they rescheduled a lot of stuff. Like they moved some stuff back, which I think they only do because they want to make sure COVID's over with.
Yeah, Black Panther got moved.
Yeah.
Seems kind of like a cop out when you have a suit or some sort of technological aid to give you superpowers. You know, I know there's like, oh, he's super smart and he's the best businessman in the world, but I'm like,
Are you talking about yourself?
That's what he does. He says that in the bathroom like Ted Lasso, and then he spits in the mirror. It's weird. I'm like, oh my god.
And then he calls himself Captain America.
This guy's a psychopath. Then he tried to kiss me one day while I was tying his tie.
you need to have some sort of supernatural powers. I'm just like when you're Batman and you just use a bunch of gadgets.
I'm
it's
rich
like
man.
less.
I'm a rich white man. I'm
I
Batman.
had to train for
It's
years
less.
to make
well,
it work.
You trained a lot, but I want supernatural powers.
Now, if you
know?
said
trained
Iron
with-
Man, like if you said Tony Stark, I would say yes.
He
I agree
trained with
you.
Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah.
Well,
Losh.
but at least Tony Stark is like they say he's super
He's
intelligent,
smart, yeah.
and super.
But that's usually
like
the case with
mechanical.
most of this stuff. They become so smart that they can build this technology to work to make it.
I've been trying to
Yeah,
lean in
it's
a
just
little
less.
bit more. This is going to make people happy, but I'm finally starting the damn Marvel movies. I'm starting with the old Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
I watched the
I'm
original.
kidding, I'm joking.
I watched the original Thor last night with my kids.
Yeah, I mean, look at
It's so weird to see like them young. Like
I saw the trailer for what, Eternals?
yes, that's the one movie I'm not totally excited about.
I saw that's
I'm gonna
got
go see it in theaters, but I'm not excited about it.
the dude that got all jacked up that everybody
Nanjiani, Kamal,
yeah, that guy, he's in it, and I saw him, and then like I read an article about him and all the backlash he got about people saying he's on.
Yeah, and
like,
the two guys from Game of Thrones are on it.
Yeah, he's on steroids, and it's like
he's
changed
on
his
HGH.
life, and
It's like you're saying he's on steroids, but he doesn't look like a bodybuilder.
Yeah,
you know?
no.
Like,
If you see the
I don't know,
transition,
man. Have
it
you seen
looks
him?
I saw-
totally
no, I
different.
saw
from
he's
fat
ripped.
dad to where he is now. It's
Yeah,
like,
it would
holy,
be like me getting jacked in like 3 months.
he's got Carrot Top Jack.
yeah. But I'm saying the steroid guys are like overly, I mean, comically jacked.
He was comically jacked compared to what he was like 3
Not like-
months earlier.
But not like a bodybuilder. Have you don't
He's
like
very vascular, man. Like
Did you bet your job on it?
I mean, he's not.
Yes,
And he's
he
oiled
could
up.
not win a bodybuilding competition. I'll bet my goddamn job.
And he's also oiled up. I mean, I put it in the same category just because of maybe the amount of difference that I saw between like
Yeah.
him on what was that show, Silicon Valley,
Yeah.
and then him on like this. It's like he
It's
went
like the
from,
transition of Chris Pratt from being on The
Yeah,
Office to
Yeah, I think it's
not
more.
Office.
I think this guy. To me, it's
Parks and
more
Rec.
because Chris Pratt. I always looked at Chris Pratt and I was always like, somewhere along the lines, you look like you played a sport. This other
But he
guy,
was pudgy.
Got
Camille
good
was never
genetics.
pudgy.
Yeah.
Well, in the
If you got good
he-
genetics.
He's a little
but
bit
he was
pudgy.
just
Yeah.
fully
He was
normal.
always fit though. He just wasn't jacked.
Man, on Silicon Valley, like even with his shirt off, he just had the patch of hair, just normal guy. And now he's just like, I don't know. It's more drastic to me for
Yeah.
some reason. I don't know why.
Okay, so we go to sports. Tom, how'd you do in your gambling this weekend?
Well,
Let's be honest.
I ended about even, a little bit up, but it was poor. I lost my Patriots bet.
Were
Although
you
it was,
even or were you down?
I make an insane amount of bets. I don't even keep track.
Yes, it's like me buying planes.
Yeah. I may have been like $10 down, or but it's.
Does Crystal know about all these bets?
Yeah. No.
I mean, I don't tell her my business. What
tell
does
Andrea
she
about
need
my
to know?
plans.
She don't even want to know. Like if I try to tell her what I like to bet on and how betting works, and she does not want to
That's
hear
where
it.
it's beneficial that your wife, much like you, sticks her head in the sand. My wife is all over the books. So she
Well,
knows
you're too
everything.
connected with your
I'm
wife. That's the
always getting
problem.
caught.
Well,
Yeah.
I've got my bankroll inside my gambling account, and that's what I use.
I got
don't-
nothing. I don't even have passwords.
Although I did want to bring up before you start,
Okay.
coaching. I found this interesting. I started thinking about this because Cliff Kingsbury from Arizona didn't get to coach his team because he tested positive for COVID or whatever. And this happened last year too. I know with Stefanski with the Browns. Remember, he didn't get to coach that one playoff game because he tested positive for COVID. And then Gruden, on the opposite, everybody knows what happened with him, and he
what happened?
obviously didn't get to wasn't with his team, and people were like, "Oh, well, how much is this going to affect?" Gruden was like kind of like an offensive coordinator. Basically, he was calling plays as a head coach. Some coaches do that. Some coaches are more of a manager. And then all these teams did perfectly fine. And there was no noticeable
Relatively no difference at all.
Head coaches usually the only decisions you usually make is whether they go for it on fourth down, or if they're going to fake a punt or field goal. That's usually the three main decisions that they have to make. Everything else has already been scripted through the plays they're going to pick and the offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator.
Yeah, but I feel like if you would have told people, like even before we witnessed this in person, like, hey, the head coach right before the game wasn't going to show up, like I feel people would think that was going to be a bigger deal to the team, right? Like I think in general,
we've worked in it. We've had our coach when we worked
shake
with
your head.
Orlando
Hold
City. We saw
Don't you disagree with Tom today?
Yeah,
you can play contrarian.
You're about to lose your bet,
but
sir.
I'm giving a whole huge beast ball, and you're like, nope. Head coaches never matter. Everybody knows they don't matter. And if you told me they weren't going to show up a day before the game, they planned and people would have been like, nothing will change. That can't be true. People,
the veins in your forehead are coming out.
No, I don't think that's a thing. Because when you and I worked for Orlando City and Adrian Heath got that ban for stepping over the line, that was a huge deal. Not having him on site, that was huge.
Yeah. Well, did it affect the next game?
Yeah, we lost.
Well, but just because
I
lost,
guess you could make a case
how much?
for it.
Yeah. Like I don't know unless you talk to the players.
The vibe wasn't good. I can tell you that. The vibe going into the match was not good. Having the gaffer off the pitch. That's true.
Well, that even kind of goes to
But that's
another
different
weird point
sport,
because
too.
I thought that soccer was way less influenced by the head coach more than NFL football.
I think it's just like the NFL. Depends on how he runs his team.
It depends on the team.
Adrian
Adrian
was changing lineups like constantly.
Yeah. Oh, if Peyton Manning head coach didn't show up while he was playing football,
You'd be fine.
It wouldn't be fine. It would make no difference. Because he's calling his own plays in it. Same thing
Okay,
with Tom
Bruce-
Brady.
Bruce
if Bruce
is
Arians
gone,
doesn't show
yeah.
up, I think they still play the game the same way.
I think they win.
I think Leftwich does a good job as offensive coordinator. He talks to Tom Brady all day.
But it seems like someone like Cliff Kingsbury, where he's like people.
If you have
like,
your fingers
he's-
in the
he's
pies
an
all the time, yeah.
He's an offensive. Like people say, he's really good offensive coach. He's like a genius. People would
Yeah.
say.
Like Sean Payton.
Also, Murray's not old enough and not a veteran enough to like call his own plays. So all I'm saying is it's weird that seemingly there's no effect. Or I mean, I know it's situational. and, like,
It's like every question you come up with sometimes. It just depends. It just
Yeah,
depends on the scenario.
It's interesting
wonder
that we
if it
get to
has
see a scenario where the coach literally just a day before the game or a couple days like gets told you can't show up, and this is like COVID would be the only.
I can think of certain people that if you pulled them off, it would be a problem.
Well, I think it only
if it's Sean
matters-
Payton, I think that'd be an issue because he runs a lot of the offense there.
It only matters.
Especially with Jameis Winston he'll be throwing interceptions like crazy if he's not there.
It only matters if your level of respect and the level of what you're putting into it matters, right?
Yeah.
So if you're a really hands-on coach and really well respected, of course it matters because you've solidified yourself as having a very integral role to the just your vibe.
Yeah,
Your motivation of being there is so integral to the team that if you leave, then you throw them off. Well, I mean, that's really up to you and how much you're putting into it, right?
Yeah, I guess it's just weird because some of these coaches are loved by their team and respected, and they say that they have a good hand in the offense.
And then there's
Stefanski and
weirdos like
Kingsbury.
Belichick, where you like
Yeah,
you
if
read
Belichick
about.
wasn't there, I'd question the Patriots if he
But you
wasn't
talk
there.
about Robert Kraft. You heard what Robert Kraft said about him. He said he's the biggest a-hole in my life.
Yeah, but he's a football.
Yeah,
a-hole.
Right, but I'm just saying,
That's
it's
his
like,
thing, yeah.
I don't know what he's.
Hey, as long as you're winning, you could be an
Also,
a-hole you want. Really.
everybody said that as soon as Brady left, he won't going to win, and Belichick was going to sail on with a ton of wins. That's not happening.
Nope.
I just find it curious and that we're getting to see like a thing that I think most people would have thought would have a huge impact, which it doesn't seem to. Now I know we're seeing small sample sizes and it depends on the game, but I don't know. It's just like, does it matter that Gruden, like now someone else? I mean, obviously they got an interim head coach and he knows what to do, right? Like they all know what to do. And the differences are super small, like so small that we can't even
Probably
tell.
nice not having the distraction there too. You know, I mean,
Well,
just being able to go back to business is really nice.
Yeah.
In that scenario, but after there was no distraction before it all came out,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
Anyway.
It was fine.
So, first.
Well, should we talk about that? Well, then since we're talking about COVID and stuff like that, we could talk about Evander Kane. Do you guys know who that is? He's a hockey player for the San Jose Sharks.
He got popped.
He gave in a fake COVID vaccine card, and he got suspended for 21 games.
That's really stupid.
And there's only 82 games in a hockey season, so he's like missing a quarter of the season.
Yeah, I don't know why you would do that.
Like, and then like he gives one of those garbage apologies in a statement saying that I'll go to counseling and make better decisions in the future. And go
well, there's
back
really
to the
no
game of
explaining
hockey I
that
love.
one. That's a deceitful thing.
Like you're just lying. Just be honest, and you be
if you don't want to get it, just tell them you don't want to get it.
do the Kyrie Irving, which is the same scenario, but he has a problem with the state of New York, not the NBA.
Right.
It goes back to the joke at the beginning of this where the hockey players, like these guys are still, I think of all sports, they're still considered the toughest because they still like get in fist fights all the
still
time.
fighting in
I
hockey.
kind of
and
feel
knock
like
their teeth out and stuff like.
like hockey is the closest sport to living in the woods.
It's,
Do you see what I'm saying by that? Like hockey, like if a frozen pond, a stick chopping wood outside the element, like it literally is rudiment, right? It's very much like it's just a stick and a puck, and they're going at it.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of finesse. You're on skates,
sure, but
Yeah,
I'm just saying
but-
it's very,
Less friction.
stick and puck and ice.
But also, though, still one of the like more old school tough guy sports, right?
100%.
Yeah, definitely, yeah, because the whole fighting and all losing teeth.
So I'm sure you tell these guys like, "Hey, why don't you get vaccinated?" They're, I don't know, but I'm sure a certain amount of them are like,
Well,
"Oh,
the
who
guy's
cares?"
a scumbag
Like,
in the first place. Like
Yeah.
he's getting in trouble for like gambling
Domestic
as well,
assault, too.
domestic assault. Yeah, that was the other thing I was going to bring up. He's
Yeah.
not a good person.
It seems like maybe he seemed like the domestic assault they were looking into, and
He was getting investigating
and
for
it
the
could have been a
gambling,
case.
too,
I don't
the
know what
Pete
it
Rose
was, but it
scenario.
could be a case where maybe he and the wife are working it out. Maybe she says, "I love him," I don't know. But then he does this, and they're like, "Okay, we got to do something. You're not a good guy. Bye bye."
Well, this was the guy with the gambling problem,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah,
this
so
guy's
he's not a good person.
A bunch of strikes.
got all kinds
It's
of
just
stuff
like
going on.
it's like this is the easiest thing to just knock him out for.
I
a little
bet you
while
they were
and not
like,
have to deal
they're
with him.
looking at it, they're like, "Oh, fake? Ah, great. Now, bye bye." Like headache gone.
Yeah, made it easy for him.
Take some
Easy
time off.
decision, Yeah.
also seems like something I'd tell someone in the locker room, like, "Yeah, just go buy a fake one online," and they don't check nothing because
I bet that's what
Tom would
happened.
definitely get
I
popped
bet
for
someone
this.
snitched on him because, like, he had already turned this vaccination card in months ago.
Yeah, like it had been there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so somebody snitched on him.
Here's the problem, though, with these people is they are very boisterous up front
yeah.
at the beginning,
Dumb and confident.
telling people their opinion, and then like this BS. Who cares? Like
Doesn't
this all
matter. I
nonsense.
want their card from Florida. They sent to me. I give to them.
And
He's
then
right.
they start putting pressure, and then it becomes harder. You have to do these, if you're not vaccinated, you got to wear a mask at all times and get tested every
Yeah.
before
That
every
he's
game.
going to Canada every time, so it's crossing an international border every single time he goes to Canada or coming to the Americas.
It makes it more of a pain in the ass because that's what they're doing. They're just making it a pain in the ass for the unvaccinated, and then
Yeah.
hopefully it'll just push them to get vaccinated just so not have to deal with the pain in the ass protocols, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we saw it in the
Like
NFL.
the guy from the
everybody
Golden
had.
State Warriors, he finally bowed to it.
So then you're like, you talk to some people like, yeah, just go get the fake card. Whenever you get the fake card, you turn it in. But the problem is you were so boisterous at the beginning that everybody's like, wait a minute. This guy got I don't know. Because if he if he would have thought of it day one and just sat back and they were like, hey, even no matter what you think, if you
Yeah.
just like, I'll just get a fake
It
card
is-
and turn it, nobody would have even questioned it,
yeah.
right?
It's like as simple as like you
You're
sit down
screwed
at lunch.
yourself.
Yeah, you sit down at lunch, you look over, and I'm like, wait a minute, EJ doesn't eat shrimp.
I
When did you
don't.
start eating shrimp? It's like one of those things.
That would
like,
be a trap for
look
sure.
at how out of character this move is for him.
Well, that's something. Yeah.
Yeah, if I was getting kidnapped, that would be the picture I'd put on Facebook.
It's like Butler, if he never claimed to know everything at all times, I wouldn't ever question it. Never let him go.
So what else? Oh, we got to talk about.
Why is everyone so awkward about it? I'm joking around.
What's awkward? I wasn't awkward.
I don't know. Everybody had an awkward vibe today.
No, I'm fine. What's
You're
wrong?
like Lane Kiffin. Did you see what happened with Tennessee and Ole Miss at the end of that game?
Like yelling, why is everybody awkward today?
Yeah, I didn't-
That'll fix it.
I wasn't awkward at all.
That'll fix it.
Did you see that game at the end? Tennessee played Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin used to be the coach of Tennessee.
Yes.
And so it was a close game. Tennessee's down at the end of the game, and they go for it on 4th and like 26, and they come up short. And they measure it, and they're short. Then all the fans in the stands start throwing stuff on the field. And it took them like 20 minutes between that play and the next play. And Tennessee just got fined by the SEC $250,000 for that scenario. And
Because
they
of the
almost
fans?
Yeah, and they hit Lane Kiffin with like a golf ball. There's a video.
Oh,
of it.
I saw that, yeah,
No,
yeah.
don't hit old men with golf balls.
Also,
They love
that
golf
old.
balls. When you get old as an old man,
No,
you fall
Lane
in
Kiffin's
love
not
with
that
golf
old.
balls.
I want to say he's maybe 48, maybe.
No, but I look at anybody. If you're a coach, even a young coach like McVay, like it doesn't matter. You're an old man to me. As soon as you become a football coach, you're old. It's an old man's job.
Yeah.
Also, $250,000, not that much.
Not that much.
I think it's a lot
Yeah.
to go. Sounds like a lot to me because normally the fines are like we fine them $5,000. I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's
that doesn't
5
even
students'
matter.
tuition for most private schools now.
Yeah. Also, the amount of money they make on their football program, like what is that? Like a quarter of the ticket revenue for the lower bowl? Like what?
Probably,
Like, you know,
yeah,
like I
it's
mean, not
massive.
even
It,
that.
it doesn't hurt them at all, but it discourages people from like because if you run on the field, like if there's a win like that, you still get fined $250 by the SEC.
But they let people do it.
Yeah, but it still costs them a lot of money. They still get fined for it, no
That's
matter
dumb.
what.
Well, it seems like the fine is not enough to make them change
Yeah, if
anything.
they're
Right?
gonna let
Like,
them-
if
they don't
if
care. Yeah,
they
based
care,
on that, I guess it isn't a lot of money if they
worth
continue
it.
to pay
It's a
it.
$250,000
Yeah.
party is what they just threw
So if
That's stupid.
for like 20 seconds that you're going to be on the field.
if it really mattered, they'd put up a fence or something. You know, they try to stop it, but it seems like the $250 fine is kind of just a winky, like, hey, we have to do something. We'll just do this, and it seems like to the average person that's a lot, but really that's 1/32 of the TV ratings.
Yeah, the revenue they're
kickback
getting
we
from-
give
yeah.
you, or something like that, right?
Yeah, it's not hurting anybody in this scenario.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that they can print in the newspaper and say, "Hey, you're costing our school this money."
Because I wonder if they'll even go back and start looking at footage of people that threw stuff and start trying to track them down internally. And sometimes they do that, and
They did a couple of the people. They grabbed a couple of people out of the stands.
But because for sure people would see themselves on the news and all the footage, and I wonder if they'll start ratting each other out in school. And
Normally they rat each other out. Yeah.
Yeah,
like
or
in
I have
any
video.
scenario.
I have video of it, and you're on TikTok or whatever.
get like internet detectives. They'll just some guy that you sit next to in your history class that you hate has been a douchebag. You'll screenshot him throwing his garbage on the field and then email that to
The water bottles was most of the throwing.
Yeah,
was
when your
yeah.
neighbor you don't like leaves their car full of Wendy's bags out back of your house, maybe your wife calls code enforcement.
next door.
Wait, what are we
Too
talking
real.
Gets to
about?
go.
That's too real.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh. My God, this went fast. Thank God.
I didn't even get to baseball.
Oh, I've been watching
Baseball.
baseball. I've been watching.
They hit 3 grand slams in the series between Houston and Boston.
I've been
which
watching.
is a record.
I'm watching the Braves series
The Braves are
because
gonna be
my
probably
wife.
the
Yeah, they're
only
doing
one I
good
can
against the Dodgers.
That's
the
the only one I
Dodgers
can
are
cheer for.
The Dodgers are killers too, man. They got good pitchers. It's been fun. I've been having a good time watching it with the wife.
All right, EJ. Anything to plug?
The wife's MyCon. Go to mystic-con.com. Yeah, all the information's there because I'll get everything wrong if I say it on the air.
Oh,
I won't bet my job on it.
All right, we'll take a break and come back with more A Corporate Time after this.